It is I, the Kahuna from the Hyperion Age. Arm yourselves and join me in welcoming our guests. We are joined today by Mr. Jonathan Colton, and A.C Pritchard, my fellow host, the beautiful, adoring MAJI Chan, Animation Overload, and our good friend, Fantasy C.A. Pence. Oh, there is a child behind me. I'm like, am I going crazy? I swear to God, it's
Yes, but there's also a child.
There is also. I am crazy, but there is also a child. Oh, if you hit me, son, we're gonna have words. Actually,
It's gonna get Conan
code for that. Let's see.
Yeah, it's gonna get Conan up in here.
There is always a way if the desire be coupled with courage. I do love me the original Robert E. Howard books.
Trust not man or woman or beast, only
Yes,
steel.
yes. Oh, the riddle of steel. And Jonathan, I heard it was your idea to watch this this film. Is that true, or was I misinformed?
Yeah, that was mine. The the Destroyer, I think, is one of the much maligned sequels that is a lot better than people give it credit for. I think Conan the Destroyer and Ghostbusters 2 kind of fall in that category for me of really good movies that don't get the credit they deserve.
Thorin, you're gonna be busted, dude. Do what you're supposed to do. Yes, I agree. Now let me tell you how much. I didn't know that this movie was real. I heard Conan the Destroyer, and I just figured it was like one of those weird fantasy cartoons that came out in the late 70s and early 80s that just kind of got ignored. And God, was I wrong. I had no idea this movie existed until we were watching it for this show. I was like, no, go. Surely he'll listen. It'll happen.
Maybe someday.
Someday. But yeah, no. That's the thing I love about the show.
One.
It gave me a great opportunity to watch something that I didn't even know it existed. And it doesn't live up to the first one? I'm not sure. We're going to talk about it. But Jonathan, do you think this is one of the better, like maybe underloved sequels that came out for certain movies?
Yeah, I definitely. I don't get why there wasn't a third movie made. Like 3 to 5 years after the Destroyer.
Because, well, did the Destroyer make money? I have no idea.
Yeah, it did. I think it made 3 or 4 times the cost of the movie in the box office, which nowadays we would call that a hit. But I don't think it made as much as the original Conan.
Yeah, some diminishing returns there.
And and of course Schwarzenegger had other offers.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, but like first Conan, he's not a household name yet. Of course, the first film did make him a household name, and then he got so many roles after that he just I can't imagine the price that his price was much fairer for the second one, let alone a possible third one that never materialized. But what about the rest of you? What is everybody else here? What was your relationship with this property in this film, now and previous to now?
Well, I'm eager to become a fan. I need to read some Conan books and just dive into it. But I've always been a fan on the fringes and respect the IP. So I'm excited to dig into it when I can. I've had a busy week this week, so I'm here as support as a support role, the healer of the party, if I can help. But yeah, I'm down to like listen to all you guys that have dug into it for the tasty nuggets. So
absolutely. And if we ever do a D&D thing, you'll be the healer. You won't actually heal. You'll just have herbs that you really believe heal us.
Smoker class. Yeah, smoker.
Like,
a lot of sugar pills.
This. Brother, I don't know how we got here, but I don't feel any better.
It's so much more fun to play. Like you can min max, and those like ultra powerful min max characters are really fun. But then you can also min max in a way that just makes it super fun to narrate. Like you make a ridiculous character. That's just
always
like
the best.
Every time I play, I make a ridiculous character.
Yeah.
I played in a sci-fi setting. I was a white guy who really believed he was Mexican and with cybernetics. It was great. I really committed to the accent, and ironically, the only Spanish-speaking individual in our group played a boring white guy. But yeah, it was good.
You guys switched.
It's like, hey, hombre, what if we, traded places, hombre? I got a job offer. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but what about you, say, Pence? What was your attachment to this movie and
So-
maybe the property of Conan in general? It's kind of infused into pop culture at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'd known a lot about Conan before, but I'd never really interacted with it much. Kind of like what AC was saying. In fact, I'd never seen the movies before, and I had just picked them up from Walmart when you guys said you were going to watch it. So I was like, sweet, good timing. So I ended up watching both of them this past week for the first time.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Perfect perspective too. Coming in with fresh eyes to give an outsider's first time perspective on it. So anybody who might be thinking about watching it or getting into the books, can pay attention to that. What I was gonna say on the last note about D&D characters before we move on really quick is the way to get the luckiest character, it turns out, and this is what I mean by the min-maxing thing in a narrative favor. The luckiest possible character turns out is like basically a naked halfling that's a barbarian among, like a barbarian wizard among other things. And the wizard side is to just provide a little bit of magical luck. And I think there's a little bit of warlock mixed in there. But if the goal is just maximum luck, that's the kind of character that gets pumped out of the other side, is like a naked Samwise Gamgee with like with like, I don't know, he's probably confident because like luck always works out in his favor.
He's a naked halfling thief barbarian. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It
The
doesn't
only
make sense,
time I
yeah.
tried to make a serious character, I got sodomized by aliens and sold to a love life. This wasn't a fantasy setting. Don't ask me why they were aliens.
As you do. As you do.
I used magic. I used everything on my behalf. Those aliens got what they wanted. We'll say that.
Got what they wanted. Oh, dude.
Oh, it did not.
There's
My persuasion rolls were poor. Anyway.
Well, it depends. Sounds like you were quite persuaded.
Yeah. Can't threaten me with a good time, right? But anyway, Conan.
You gotta go.
Famous for the poll, by the way. Go participate in the poll. It's very simple this week in the live chat. The poll is simply big sword or dark magic. So we'll see what comes out
Dark
on top.
magic.
Yeah, we'll see what.
Or
comes
hear me out. You could do Elric of Melniboné, who he's named after, and have both a dark magic sword.
out. A big dark.
Mine.
Yeah.
I'm Queen.
You're
How
not.
about slingshot?
Yeah, no. What you're named after, kiddo?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Technically, Guts is sword.
Yeah, that's
A
true.
lot of people. Yeah. Probably Cloud Strife too. To be honest.
Oh, it
There's a
depends on
lot.
what you equip.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big, cool swords.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes, I don't know. Like, there's some where I'm sitting there like, if the aesthetic or setting isn't right, and it's just somebody who inexplicably has a giant sword and there's no explanation, you better have some stuff. You better have something else to really make that work. You don't have to explain why, but it has to make sense to me in my head. Like, Berserk is the only comic where big guy swing big sword is good every single time. I never get tired of it.
Hello.
They
Yeah,
explain it throughout the whole thing, so it kind of way it makes sense.
Yes, Elric.
Actually, funny enough that we're talking about Berserk. If you guys have all read the like the concept chapter for Berserk, where he obviously draws direct influence from Conan. In fact, he mentions Crom in it.
Yeah, I have seen that. That was like when that was concepts before he started it, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
well, that's like
well,
a
like-
whole chapter. He goes into it. It's kind of cool.
It is darker than Conan in most ways. Like, because even when things are going terribly for Conan and gang, it never feels like it's hopeless. Berserk distinctly feels pretty hopeless a lot, like the entire time.
Pretty much, yeah. He would definitely went a different direction with it for sure.
And it's weird though. It's like I can recommend Conan to a lot of people, but Berserk, I'm always hesitant. I'm always like, I have to know that you like stuff like this already. Like it's a hard.
Oh yeah, definitely.
God forbid someone be sensitive. I'm like, I can't recommend you read this. I'm sorry.
No, not even a drop of sensitivity for that book or that series.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, Conan and this whole thing like started a genre, right? Like this is kind of like one of the
sword and
original
sorcery.
yeah, and like kind of like one of the original sires of dark fantasy in general, right? Like
Oh yeah.
you could say
Yeah.
like a further down branch of this would be like George R. R. Martin, you know, because he definitely looked into this. Elric, as you mentioned, you know, among others like Tolkien and stuff. So yeah, it's very worth looking into to see what all the hubbub is about. Really, really eager to hear the different components that go into it. So.
Yeah, no, what I do like about Conan specifically of all of the works of Robert E. Howard, Conan is not my favorite character. Maybe not even my favorite stories by Robert E. Howard. But the world that he creates is so savage and simple in some ways compared to a modern world. It really provides an ultimate form of escapism, if that's what you're looking for in your fiction, because the world is so dynamically different than ours. And the movies, both movies, 1 and 2, the Conan and Conan the Destroyer, the settings and the sets are unbelievable. Like I don't know where they filmed most of this, but it every time they go to a new location, I'm shocked by how good and otherworldly and elderworldly it looks. At least in my opinion. What do you guys think?
It just looks like Arizona.
Well, I think Conan the Barbarian was mostly shot in Spain. And funny enough, Conan the Destroyer was mostly filmed in Mexico.
Huh.
But
I was gonna say there are places in Africa that it like some of those places resembled, but it didn't look quite right. So I couldn't figure. I was curious where that was.
well, and you have to keep in mind part of it is the matte painting. So you know they're filming on location, and then they're putting these gorgeous paintings in to help prop up or extend some of the mountains in the background, or putting the castle on the hill, and that's all happening via matte painting.
But it looks so good. You don't like. I'd take that over a CGI background most of the time. Like hell, Star Wars was infamous for it, and they did a really good job with it too.
Yeah, I would argue matte painting usually looks more realistic than CGI.
Yeah, especially if it helps to these older films. Like there's kind of a grain, and because it's not like these HD cameras, it helps that blends better than the modern like ultra 4K. You can see their individual pores kind of situation.
Yeah, I think I think that's what a good CGI artist really is just someone who knows how to paint and how to render light. And
yeah,
that's what usually if you're watching a movie and you think the CGI looks bad, what they have done wrong is the values. And so there's something wrong with the value and the shading that's not quite right, and that's why it looks fake.
Even less like, yeah, I agree. It's like old video games, Jonathan, you like think about like old games, like graphically, do they compare? Not really, but do they age much better? Yes, because the art direction
There's an
was
intention
much
to it.
better. Yeah, you like modern CGI is what happens when you take the artist out of the art in some capacities.
And animation can speak to this a little bit, like a little bit of color theory going on, right? There's ways
what does animation know about art?
Nothing, clearly.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing at all.
like
I
with
suck.
what's on screen right now too, it's like an anatomical pre-construct of an image. Clearly nothing. And then there's perspective. There's perspective.
You know nothing. this
Uh,
camel does not look right.
but yeah, like just color theory, right? Like Jonathan mentioned the grading, that there's ways to create optical illusions with color that set it apart. Like this is how you can get really simple images that just for some reason jump out at you so much more than just a flat, like simply cell shaded image, for example. But even the cell shaded ones, you can do tricks with that too, like using perspective, like what animation's doing. It kind of distracts from the cell shading, so your eyes bridge the gap themselves, right?
Well, yeah, no. In a good comic where they have a lot of panels, say like during an action scene, if done properly, it can look like keyframes of animation. Like One Punch Man, the manga for it specifically does that really, really well. And yeah, it's like if you flip through it fast enough, it almost looks like I'm like, this is hella impressive. Absolutely. But yeah,
the
what
paneling and the staging, and it's so good.
No, it's super, super solid. But what are some of the things that you guys what was it? Who said that they had only seen both movies just for the first time? Was that Pence or? Yeah. So what was, because you had read some of the stories, but you hadn't actually watched the film. So what was your experience?
I hadn't even read the stories either.
Oh, wow.
Kind of a first Conan experience, really. Like I'd known about Conan before, but I never really interacted with it yet. So it was just good seeing some good fantasy and kind of seeing some of that old school stuff and where a lot of that stuff is coming from.
It shows you don't need a complicated story for it to be good. It just you need to believe it. You need to feel it. And definitely. I really feel it in the first film, and I feel it at portions of the second film. It's absolutely solid. But yeah, Jonathan, what do you think is one of the most underrated aspects of this second film, in your opinion?
Well, I think the story is really good, and I feel like they elevate from Conan the Barbarian a shift towards a Conan type story, in that there's more magic.
It's a little more pulpy as well.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe Conan the Barbarian is kind of similar to one of the novels, whereas Conan the Destroyer is like the comic book come to life. But the idea that Conan, at the end, he's fighting this ancient god that's been resurrected, that's also a monster, and that just that is kind of a trope in Conan stories. And so that's really great to see, and the way they pulled it off, and with him having to remove the horn, and not to give away the ending, but
spoiler for a movie that we're talking about. Also, for anyone who says that AO can't do art, this is his magnum opus. People say modern film can be art, but this is art.
Life
and
I question that.
Jonathan, you're an expert. What did that look like art to you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Done deal. It's settled. All right, with that though, guys.
Pause. Oh, sorry.
Kahuna, the fourth one over is MAJI, like this, and the sixth one over, so just 2 to the right, is animation overload, like this. So you can switch between as needed, like that.
Yeah, no, that's just fine.
Yep. But I gotta bail to help. I gotta help wrangle a wild Xander.
Uh-oh.
So I ran out of Pokeballs, so it's gonna have to be the old-fashioned way. But you guys enjoy the rest of your show. I'm gonna be watching it over here with the family. You have a lovely night.
Young disobedient boys. I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah, it's pulling dad. It's pulling dad from the stream this week. So he's gonna have to answer it. It was good meeting you, John. Thanks for joining us, CA.
Thank you.
One less without me chiming in about symbolism and shit. It should be like easier to get a word into. But you guys have a good night. Cheers.
Absolutely. Peace out, AC.
Yeah. See ya.
But yeah, no. What one big difference I kind of noticed between maybe the first one and this one was there's quite a bit more humor in the second one, and I think sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think tonally it didn't shift as well, perhaps, and I think maybe that's one thing that people didn't love as much.
Well, generally, the criticism that I hear is it wasn't as dark as the first one or as violent. And
it was violent, but it wasn't in this. It didn't hit maybe as hard. In some
right.
ways.
Well, I think maybe the second one was PG-13. What was that?
Maybe the tone makes it feel lighter than what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they just they made sure to avoid that R rating. Yeah. And so
was the first one rated? Forgive me, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
So in the Destroyer, Conan is still chopping off heads, but you don't see the blade cleave through the neck. Right? So
no, I actually, now that you say it out loud, I'm like, I did notice that when I'm watching. I'm like, why are we seeing the head? Like, it's like this jump cut all of a sudden. It's like, yeah.
Right. And that's, apparently, or it was one of the differences between PG-13 and R. He'll raise up the sword, rides past somebody on a horse, and then you see their head flying, but you don't see him, hit the neck with the sword and the blood splat out. So that's kid friendly.
But have a beautiful blonde girl wearing a napkin, and that's fine.
Yeah, basically.
Hey, that's just art. That's just Colton.
I was watching. I'm like, what in the HE double hockey stick is she wearing, dude? Like
nothing.
Like nothing.
She's not wearing anything. That's the point.
Wearing nothing would be more appropriate, possibly. What is this?
Curtains. She's wearing curtains, basically.
No, curtains block light. This doesn't block anything on the visible spectrum.
No, it's those curtains that you have behind the curtains that you have for decoration, basically.
Also, I do love the moment I see her. It's like, oh, her virginity must be protected. I'm like, oh, boy.
Ow.
Also, this is what we're having her wear. Yeah, it's fine.
Really testing that virginity there.
And it's funny you say that too, because I remember the Siskel and Ebert review of this movie, and apparently Gene Siskel was, I guess, woke before woke, because he said he didn't like the movie because he thought Grace Jones and Conan should have a love affair, and they didn't. And, and I was like,
now I get the desire for it to happen. I'm like, because I just figured that was inevitable, but I was wrong. I'm like, yeah, this will happen. And then by the end, I'm like, I was wrong. I'm so happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, I think Grace Jones was really popular at the time, but I
can't imagine why.
I don't think we were all hoping for a romantic lead there. And
because they already played that out in the first one.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this worked better the way they did it in this one, where he didn't go for her.
And he was also he was still in mourning, and it's even addressed, even the fact that she's not really his type, which was, that conversation was hilarious. He's like, looks like you, but more like her.
Right.
Yeah, kind of.
What was that actress's name? She really brought that manic, crazy energy to this role.
It sure did.
Oh.
And I think the other reason that it was great that movie was made is you got to see Grace Jones, Schwarzenegger, and Wilt Chamberlain on screen together. And, just three powerhouse models and athletes, and just to get them all on camera interacting with each other. I think, it just captured something of the zeitgeist of the time. And
yeah, it's fun back then when it was a little more novel back then when they would bring in all these elements together. It's kind of worn out its welcome in recent media in some ways, unfortunately. It's always about hey, it's about bringing these people together instead of it just happening and it being cool.
Yeah. Well, and I remember reading about the, the filming of the movie. And Arnold was talking about how he had, part of his contract was he got his weight set, right? And so he had his own personal gym outside his trailer. And, he said normally when he's shooting a film, everyone's marveling at how much he lifts. And, and he said he had his bench press set up. And he said he normally could do about, I think 15 or 20 reps. And Wilt Chamberlain was walking past his bench press and was like, do you mind if I try? And he said he grabbed it and he just started curling the bench press. And then he sat down on the bench press and, and just ripped out about 100 of them in a row. And then and then said that was a good warm up.
Yeah, no,
Damn.
like even if you don't know anything about him or anything previous to watching this film, you can tell the man's an athlete, just the way he moves in the film. I also love how they're constantly trying to make Arnold look bigger than him.
Right.
And arms, sure, but the man's giant. He's huge.
Yeah.
He is ridiculously tall, and every now and again they forget and they show how tall he is. I'm like, holy sweet fuck! All right.
Yeah.
But no, I like that he didn't turn out to be a piece of shit. His character didn't turn out to be a piece of shit too. He's like he was actually a good Sometimes I'm so used to modern media where it's like, oh, we're allies. It's like, well, who is portraying who here? What's going on? And sometimes I'm just like, it's kind of cool to have a party where they're not constantly assholes at all times.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And if you can bring up the picture, I put it in the video chat. You can
Private chat?
There's a way to click that link and pull it up.
Yeah. 1 second here. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, I've seen this picture. Yeah, hold on. Let me scoot it over here. And then we'll click.
So this will give people kind of an idea what you're talking about with the size.
Arnold's not a small man, and he's very muscular, but dear God, there is a large range of people in the world, and this is one of them. If I can... Wait, who am I? Who's presenting? Who am I? Where? Let's see. No, not you. Why is it not? Sorry, here it's having a technical.
Yeah. So, and this picture actually has 3 people in it, if you can pull it up, it's Schwarzenegger, Wilt Chamberlain, and Andre the Giant. And Andre just happened to be in town in Mexico where they were shooting the movie, and the 3 of them got together for dinner.
There we go. Yeah.
And I think, to your point, Arnold's 6'2", and looking a little smallish. And,
no. Well, Andre the Giant, he was unreal, but but look how big Wilt is compared to him too.
So
they make him look remarkably big. Arnold look remarkably big in the film compared to him in most of the time. Every now and again they slip, and you're like, oh yeah, no, I see it.
It's like the Lord of the Rings Hobbit effect, but with Arnold.
The men on left and right are wearing canoes. Those aren't even shoes. There's those modern day kid kayaks. What's going on here?
Well, and Schwarzenegger tells this story about the night they went out to dinner, and that Andre insisted on paying.
Oh,
and Schwarzenegger was like, no, he's like, I'm the big movie star. I'll pay. And he said they did a little back and forth, and then Andre picked up Schwarzenegger at the hips and then set him on top of a counter somewhere, or
set him on top of a shelf. Yeah.
And said, I pay. And so So
Okay,
Schwarzenegger
okay.
had to let him pay at that point. 'cause-
It is a shame they didn't have Andre in either of the movies as some
right?
sort of. I mean, it just would have been cool. Andre the Giant is like any of the giant knights that appear, like ridiculous knights who die immediately in Berserk. He could have played any of them,
Oh yeah.
and it wouldn't have been like the size would have been right. But yeah, Ao, I like your drawing you got going on here. This is looking good, man.
Thank you.
No, it's fantastic, man. I was on one of the whatchamacallit, Mike Miller's streams, a charity or an auction a couple years back. So one of his artist guests was on there, and he was doing a custom Conan piece, and I said, man, yeah, I started bidding on it as he's still working on it, and he's like, yeah, man, yeah, any requests? I'm like, hey, how about the other really good Robert E. Howard character? Let's throw Solomon Kane on there too. And he did. I have that down in my office. I love that piece.
Oh, that's cool.
Because
Nice.
like while Conan, like the world is better, Solomon Kane for me is like he is the superior character in my opinion, just as in forms of taste. Jonathan, is Conan your favorite Robert E. Howard character, or what do you think?
Yeah, for me, for sure. I think the problem Solomon Kane had is I don't think Rosetta is doing the Kane covers. And
Yeah,
that's really what put Conan on the map is because you can find these old illustrated covers with Robert E. Howard, and the way they draw Conan, then he's like slightly effeminate, and he looks a little Turkish, and he's wearing like colorful clothing. And so that interpretation of him was a little bit different. And then, Frazetta got tasked with illustrating the cover. And
that man was a godsend
Was.
to illustration and fantasy in general. I don't know a single competent modern like cover artist for fantasy novels that isn't hugely inspired by him. And it's obvious why. Like there are dozens of collections out there, and every single one of them is gold. I've looked through a whole bunch of them, but yeah, no, Frazetta, he really. It's weird how sometimes the original like artistic vision of a creator can be overlaid by someone who had a better artistic vision for it. Like you guys know like
Tolkien, basketball. Frazetta is the Michael Jordan of book cover illustration. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
He back in his day, at one point, the publishers were going into his studio, and they would just buy any painting, any drawing, anything that was half done, and then pay a writer to write a story about this picture. Because
I think I've read some of those novels.
Because
like I have all these old ancient
would sell
yellowed
with
paperbacks,
Frazetta's painting on the cover. Yeah,
it was the meta back then. Yeah,
it might not have made for great stories, but they did sell some books.
I'm trying to remember the name of. There's a weird one I picked up recently. Something in the Whipping Star, and it's like guys in old like ancient Sumerian robes and blasters. I'm like, what is going on here? Anyway. No, if you ever want to, if you like, because way back in the day, especially like pulp era and after that, fantasy and sci-fi are way more. There was way more entwinement going on.
Oh, definitely.
Like having a gun or having aliens in your story didn't necessitate it being a sci-fi, and it could was all kind of just fantasy at one point. And you could see where they slowly started delineating it, and I'm like. Honestly, like I don't mind a hard sci-fi here and again, but I'll take my fun, interesting, weird fantasy sci-fi, like these weird blends that they used to come up with. It was a little more weirdly a bit more creative back then, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I think authors used to be able to hop on both sides of the fence more. Like you could be a fantasy and sci-fi writer, whereas now you're just kind of one or the other. And I think I don't know if you guys are familiar with the writer Piers Anthony, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
he was someone who would really do both. Like he would write straight sci-fi, and then you know he had his like Sauce the Rope series, which was kind of Conan-esque, but post-apocalyptic Conan. And then he had his fantasy series like Xanth, which were just super high fantasy. And, you know, kind of got to play in all the different playgrounds. And I don't think you see that as much anymore. It's like people that are sci-fi, they tend to stick to that thing. And then like fantasy writers the same.
I think some, like, it's starting to come back a little bit. Whenever you have a big, like one of the big boys start changing things, that's when it gives permission to other people to start doing it as well. Whether you like Sanderson or not, there is a lot of good coming of his, like him throwing his weight around in the industry in some capacity. I don't like some of the things that are going on there, but the idea that sci-fi and fantasy do not have to be so exclusive, I think that's a positive thing. Yeah, it doesn't need to be so rigid. It's like there are spaceships. Do they call them that? No, but they are spaceships, and there's no doubt about it. Like what was his recent book that I talked about it with old host of this show, Joe. We talked about the Isles of the Emberdark, and it was kind of like old world sword and sorcery kind of pulpy story meets modern sci-fi, but with all the same fantasy things that you're expecting, and it turned out really, really well. But yeah, no, MAJI,
Yeah.
have you seen either of the old Conan films?
No, but I am aware like the Conan game and stuff. A lot
Oh,
of
Path
people
of the
do
Exile
like
or a
that.
different one?
Yeah, Path of the Exile. And I know that they've been going back and fixing it too.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've never played that particular game. Frankly, I just don't have that much time for gaming. I've been working on a bookshelf for what feels like 18 years recently. That and then the kids necessitate a certain amount of time.
Well,
Now,
you always need a new bookshelf.
I do, because I was explicitly told by people I live around that I cannot hang anything from the ceiling. So I had to buy it. Creativity was born out of necessity.
You know, speaking of books, the Conan the Destroyer, the novelization, because, you know, they used to do that, right? Where the movie would come out, but you would also get the book version. And
yeah.
the book, the novelization for that was written by Robert Jordan.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know that. That's cool. It was probably pretty good then.
Oh, yeah, it was great. Now, I didn't know which had come out first when I read the book, the book or the movie, and it turns out the movie had come out first. But when I read the book, I was like, wow, the book was better than the movie, and this Robert Jordan guy is pretty good. I should look for more of his stuff.
If only he had written anything else. It's really unfortunate he never wrote anything else besides that. Had a lot of potential there. Yeah. Oh.
It does make me curious, though. Does he write the book after watching the movie, or does he just get the screenplay and then write the book? Because the book was so much better than the movie. I just was kind of struck by that. But if you know, let us know in the comments.
What kind of things do you think it improved from the movie?
Well, you know, it was several years ago. I just remember it was kind of more in depth, and
right,
like the character motivations were clearer, and I think even some of the action scenes were drawn out and longer in the book, you know, because it doesn't cost anything to shoot them. Right. And so it's like you're reading through the action.
These words are going to cost too much. We better stop.
Right. So you're reading the book and you're like, oh, wow, that is so awesome. Why didn't they put these fight scenes in the movie? And
because the movie definitely came out first. It's like, oh, that's so weird. The book describes the head coming off the neck, and the movie doesn't show it. It's so unfortunate. No, there are still there are occasional adaptations, like novel adaptations of modern movies. The most recent good example I can think of is the Planet of the Apes movies, the modern movies. They have adaptations and in between novels, and shockingly good. Very, very surprising how good they are. Yeah, especially if you enjoy those films. I haven't seen the new one yet. I still new whatever. It's a couple years old now. I should see that one. But
The Kingdom one.
yeah, Kingdom. Yeah,
It was
I heard
good.
it's
I
not
liked
as
it.
good, but I heard it's worth watching.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, and
Well,
like weirdly enough, that's kind of like that kind of setting is kind of Conan-ish a little bit. It's like all these kind of basic kingdoms in some ways.
Conan of the Apes.
I would watch that. I would watch that, honestly.
I'd watch the hell out
Yeah.
of it.
Well, the crossover that Marvel just announced, because they bought 20th Century Fox, they have a comic coming out, I think in a month or two, Planet of the Apes versus Predator.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That looks neat.
Wait, versus
Yeah,
Predator?
that looks fun. That looks fun.
Oh, jeez.
So
Why
the Predator's
why is
gonna
it?
fight some gorillas? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. But yeah. So for those who did watch the second movie here, we do this thing called Sink or Float. I think I can gauge pretty well where we're all at on that one. But we'll start down below. Jonathan, you final thoughts on the film and Sink or Float. Float is good. Sink is bad. It's like the Titanic.
Yeah. So I'm Float, but I'm also, a teacher. So I kind of grade movies by school grades, right? So for me,
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian's an A+. Conan the Destroyer is an A minus. And it's definitely a good time. But the other thing, the final thought, what is great about the Destroyer, that a lot of people miss, is the soundtrack. And it's Basil
soundtrack.
Paleodoros again. But it's some of my favorite music to write to and to draw to. And so, I'll get in front of the drawing board and I'll have Conan the Destroyer going in the background. And that's one of the things that puts it up into that A category.
Yeah, So I'm like that too. Sometimes I'll attach really strongly to like one thing in a movie or a book, and it will cause me to disproportionately hype something up, maybe more than I know it really deserves. Like, I remember the first time I read one of the Dresden File books. Like there was this thing where a soul gaze, where like, if a wizard looked into somebody's eyes, they can kind of have a soul exchange of inner worlds mentally in that moment. And I was like, I've kind of had that in real life. So yeah, no, this book's great. Everybody should read it. But yeah, see it, Pence. Well, your opinions.
All right.
Final Sink or Float and final options.
I think it was a fun movie. It wasn't. I do agree that the first one was definitely better all around, but I was kind of expecting that anyways. So yeah, I'd give it a good float. It's good, solid fantasy.
Yeah, no, and it's still better than half of the other movies that came out at that time from the fantasy genre, regardless of how well it compares to the first one. So
True.
yeah, I'm right there with you. Animation overload.
I had seen it a while back, and I thought it was fun. A lot of action, a lot of funny moments.
Yeah, a lot of humor. I did kind of miss the darker tone of the first one, but I was just happy there was another film. Again, before getting ready for this stream, I had no idea this movie existed or that it was what it was. I'm like, wait, there's another Arnold Conan. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Also, final note, Arnold actually knew how to speak a little bit of English in this film, which is way better than the first one. It's like it makes me giggle like a schoolgirl, that line from the first one, but I'm like, my God, don't let him talk. He embodies the entire physical, he's a physical manifestation of the character. Don't let him speak. My God. And so his line deliveries were much better in this film. So
It still can't be bad as Arnold Schwarzenegger's Hercules.
Oh, they dubbed that in. That wasn't even him. Yeah, I thought you were gonna bring up the other black sheep of the Iron Seas movie history in form of Highlander. Yeah, the most ambiguous the most ambiguous accent.
I'm just imagining him in Disney's Hercules now, and it's just funny.
Well, no.
I will be
you have to train me. Come on.
I can go to.
I can go to distance.
Sorry, I
wanna
made
see
it
that
sound
now.
like he has Down syndrome. That's not Arnold. What the hell was that?
He's already been in a movie with Danny DeVito, so it could work.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining the I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the band Austrian Death Machine, which is just Arnold essentially singing as a Disney movie.
Yeah, I have. Oh, dude, it's like all those stupid AI videos. Like, I know they're bad, but it's like there's this series of AI videos about Harry Squatter, the boy who lifts.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I can't stop laughing when I see it.
Someone had a heavy Potter on Twitter.
Oh, I saw the heavy. The funniest one was the heavy Jurassic
They
Park
had
because it made all the
heavy
dinosaurs.
Potter, and I
talk.
responded, "The Philosopher's Scone."
Yeah, that was pretty
I thought that was funny.
No, that's really good. But my boys, Billy, he made it. Let's see. That is a float. Where's the damn float? Where is it? Ah, there it is.
All right, Jonathan, it's time to discuss your comic, senor. Take us away.
Okay. Well, we're talking Three Brothers Gruff, and we have it's through fundmycomic.com, but this book is about the Three Billy Goats Gruff reimagined as satyrs, and instead of countering a troll, they are troll hunters and troll hunters for hire. And the short pitch is it's Chronicles of Narnia meets Conan the Barbarian.
Ooh.
Yep. Nope. Just found you on FMC. Yeah. Love those guys over there. Heck yeah, dude. No, I really like your art style. Are you the sole artist on these bad boys, or how?
On this one, I am the writer only. The artist is Vincenzo Mercogliano. He's out of Italy, and I came across him on Facebook, and I saw that he was drawing historical comic books for an Italian press, and lots of horses and swords. And so I contacted him and said, I have a book you might be interested in, and he very much was, and got to work on it right away. And so here we are.
Well, he's a phenomenal artist, first of all, but yeah, no, this already looks, just on this image by itself, this already looks so much fun. I'm like, this is clearly like good fantasy, but it's also like we're gonna have a good time.
I've caught his Three Goats Gruff on Binding into Comics, or Proof of Comics, with Fredericks, and he not only has this one but another one that looks really legit.
Yeah, so thank you. That's also I kind of have a special going on right now. So the other book,
I didn't know if you were planning on talking on that one. It's just that one looks pretty
That's
cool.
perfect. So the first 50 physical backers of Paul Bunyan or of Three Brothers Gruff also are going to get a free copy of Paul Bunyan versus Dracula #1, which was the comic I did last year. Yeah.
No, bring that bad boy back up. Oh, that cover's dope, dude. I love it. I'm getting a lot of like Alucard from
Helsing.
Thank you. Like I love a big obnoxious cape. I'm always here for it. Artistic.
Well, this is an homage to a Todd McFarlane cover.
I was about to say, it reminded me of Spawn a little bit.
Yeah. The original McFarlane cover was the issue of Batman, and it was a Batman cover that I always thought had a little bit of a mistake in it, and it turns out there's 2 mistakes in it that get mentioned, but they're not the one that I saw. And what I always thought was funny about it is there was Batman standing in front of the sun, and I always thought it should have been the moon.
Understandably. Otherwise, like that whole joke about him having a weird tan line, I always thought that was pretty funny. It's like why he only fights at night, just weird.
This looks awesome, man.
No, I like this a lot. I like a good fleshed out fantasy world. Like you don't have to see the details of everybody, but there is detail. There's color. Everybody is in a very believable posture. It makes your eyes want to linger on a page for a while, which, like, if you're writing a good comic, you kind of want that anyway, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And Vincenzo he blew me away because, he was packing in, like, sometimes he would change the script to put in extra panels. And so, the pages have a lot of panels on them, I think we averaged like 7 panels per page. And,
that's kind of like what 4, 5, 6, 7, and pretty much the same thing here. There's a lot of dynamic movements and it makes action better in comics when it's done this way.
Well, and what I like about it too is it has a flow to it, but it also it lets things settle in and lets you take time to read the book. The other thing that blew me away was how many backgrounds he drew. And a lot of times you get comics nowadays and there might be no backgrounds at all for 3 or 4 pages. And he just kind of
crazy. Yeah.
Even from here, it's like very easy to like follow what's going on. And like I'm saying it through a secondary screen. So that's good.
No, that's one of the things I pay attention to the most, because over the last year or so, maybe 2 years, I got really into bande dessinées, and then I got into manga quite a bit more as well. And it made me realize, like, one of the bigger weaknesses of the American comic industry overall is not really the art. It's more the way the art is designed, the way it carries your eye through the layout,
flow of action and stuff.
How your eye travels across the page.
They're focused on each panel being like a standalone piece rather than part of a whole, really.
Like in this, it's easy to tell what's happening. I'm not confused at any moment what's happened.
We've been getting a ton of compliments on the storytelling, and that's been super nice. And I think the other thing that stood out to me was how he was able to communicate gesture, body language, and the use of subtle facial expressions.
Like I'm purposely not reading the words so far, just partially talking to you, but also, I was going to ask you how much you gave him as far as description of some of the primary characters, like maybe the 3 brothers, for example.
Well, that was kind of a funny thing where I really gave him like no notes on anything, because everything was coming back better than I had pictured it. And I had to tell him, like, hey, Vincenzo, you're really making me look like a good writer here. And,
thank you for that.
But I did question the three brothers Gruff because he had designed them each with their own outfits, their own armor, their
Completely
own unique,
separate aesthetics. Yeah.
their own unique carvings on the armor, and then they had their weapons and their own unique carvings in their weapons that made them distinct. And I was like, bro, do you really want to draw all of this, like every panel of every page? Because I was picturing them, well, a lot more like Conan.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe in a loincloth, maybe having some wristbands, maybe
not
a
as
necklace.
detailed, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, this is the F-boy rogue aesthetic that he went for here. Oh, I'm not wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Also, real quick, I have a couple of guests showing up. Billy, the second Animal Farm film trailer just dropped, and we got leaked footage. And oh, dude, I've seen some of the scenes. That ain't whatever you wanted. Whatever I want. If I wanted Animal Farm, that ain't it, Chief. Wrangler, hola.
Just watch the old movie or read the book.
Hey,
Yes.
John.
Hail, John. Nice to
Hail,
see you,
John.
my man. And Herman, girded loins. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, that's
I mean, now that you mention it,
the hedge has dropped his wisdom. We know what the hedge has spoken. If I ever find a way to put him as a hedge in a story, it will happen. Just like we go to the hedge for wisdom. It's like
I'm on
that
it.
outfit, like that red shirt looks ugly. Also, your mother is questionable. It's like, well, that wasn't really wisdom, but thanks anyway. Let's go.
I'll put him in a story. How about that?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like that because I've commissioned artists to do different things, and with artists that I know and trust, I generally try to give them as few notes as possible. Because I'm like, if I could do this, if I had the artistic eye and skill to do this, I still don't think I would come up with something as visually interesting as what they have. So I'll give them the basic vision, and then I try to give them as much freedom as I
do
can.
it for you, but I'm not that good.
Let's
I'll
see.
do it anyway.
Yeah.
I know I've definitely had artists surprise me some of the stuff that they've given me, but I didn't even mention anything about things, and they just brought some cool shit out of my ideas.
Oh man, animated. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead, Maji.
Go for it.
Animated Moon. I gave him a chapter, and what he came up with for that scene was freaking amazing.
Yep. And I have this weird thing because I'm Hawaiian, Jonathan. In case you don't know, I like to toss like Hawaiian inspiration to any of the story and pieces and things that I commission and stories I've written in the past and things of that nature. And without asking, 3 different artists have added volcanoes in the background of things that I've commissioned from them. Without there was never mention of a volcano. It's just like it's shown up 3 different separate occasions, 3 different artists now. Like, I need to be really sure I want a volcano because it sounds like it's just going to happen from here on out.
Hawaii is basically just one volcano. I mean, come on.
That is true. That is true. And I wasn't upset by the volcano, but it was. We have to acknowledge it was there. It wasn't asked for. Big, beautiful volcanoes. You wouldn't believe it. But yeah. So yeah. No, you're saying Narnia was kind of a partial inspiration for this as well.
Well, it started as
I get
me
a little
telling
bit
this.
of Mr. Thomas from the character right here.
Yeah. No, the kind of basic satyr design. It's like
with like the red scarf and stuff.
The goatish, but not a goat. It's not a goat. It's
satyr.
There's still man.
Yeah.
There's still man.
Well, and he's obviously the youngest of the 3 brothers, but the
look at that smile. That's not an older brother smile. Oh, are you kidding me?
Well, and because of that, he's the most spry, and so he's the one who they always have whenever they need someone to jump somewhere or to climb something. William, go up there and see what's happening. And of course, the biggest brother, Magnus, is the heaviest. Also,
He's the oldest, right?
Yeah, he's the eldest, and he's the blacksmith and the inventor of the group. And so he made the weapons that all of them have.
I like how they all have 3 completely different horn styles as well. Oh,
yeah. Well, the smallest one has the smallest horns. The middle one has the middle horns, and then the big brother has the biggest horns. And if you're familiar with the folktale, then that's to be expected. And I think this was inspired by 2 things. One was me telling this story to my daughters at night, and then trying to keep it interesting for myself. I started, adding things here and there, and this with the troll and that. And the other was I don't know if you guys remember the Todd McFarlane toys. They used to have something called Twisted Fairy Tales, where they kind of did
I do remember that.
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, they did, kind of a dark, weird version of like Wizard of Oz and some other fairy tales, but they never touched the three Billy Goats Gruff. And so, I kind of just started doing it myself and turning this bedtime story into a bigger epic, and started adding goblins and then wizards and fairies.
They were having succubus with goblins. Sorry.
all of these different elements until I really had a complete solid story. And then I'm like, well, you know what, I need to make this comic book.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so the trolls, what are they in your world necessarily? Because fantasy, they toss out the common names, but then they are sometimes like an elf in Harry Potter is slightly different from a Lord of the Rings elf. So I always like to have people kind of define their fantasy creatures.
Right. So the good question. The trolls are kind of the big bads of this world. And so I think a troll is about the most dangerous creature that you could kind of come across. I think if you think of the cave troll in Lord of the Rings, but the troll in our story is a mountain troll.
So bigger.
Yeah. So it's kind of a mountain troll version of that. He looks a little bit, like the Hulk, but wearing spikes. And this particular troll has kidnapped a princess that the brothers have been tasked with rescuing. And this troll is considered super dangerous because he's as big and strong like all the other trolls, but also, unlike most other trolls, he's really intelligent. And so they have that to contend with as well.
I like that you included that, and let me tell you why. It's typical. I got used to it growing up. It's like all these stories growing up, whenever there was a big strong guy, he was always like, "Oh, I am big dumb. I am big dumb. Dumb big. Big is dumb." And I'm like, that's not necessarily true. A lot of the biggest guys I know were also super intelligent, which seems slightly unfair on behalf of God, but here we are. I'm like, you can't bench press 600 pounds, be 6'8", and also like have a genius level intellect. It's not like life isn't fair. Anyway. That was my nerdy as hell like hobby store manager that I went to growing up when my parents almost got divorced. I was there 8 hours a day, and then come to find out he's like, oh, this nerdy guy, he's 6'8", he benches 600 pounds. He was an ex-NFL player. He traveled across Asia for 3 years as a nomad learning martial arts. And the guy is just the biggest badass on the planet, and you would never know that Big Boy Tommy was that guy. But So no,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's why he's so dangerous. Like the big and strong. Yeah, we've seen that before, but now we have this added element of, oh, the big guy also knows how to move things behind the scenes a little bit. Is a little more calculating.
Yeah, he's kind of the Dolph Lundgren of the trolls. That for those who don't know, Dolph Lundgren was the kickboxing champion of Europe before getting into the Rocky movies, and then was a movie star, but also has a master's degree in chemical engineering. And
Yeah.
I remember at one point, and I think he was like over 40 at this point, and his country didn't have, and I might be wrong about this, but I believe he's natively Swedish. Sweden did not have anybody competing in the biathlon in the Winter Olympics. And so he was like, well, I'll try out. And he just went on a whim and, tried out for the event that is cross-country skiing and marksmanship, and ended up winning the silver medal.
That's like that sounds like that could be a movie. That's ridiculous. Like night out with the boys, like out in Moscow or something. Just like we're out there like in Europe drinking with the boys at a pub. It's just like, oh, they don't have anyone. I'll do it. Oh yeah, you'll do it. No, I'll do it. Next morning, wakes up, goes out, wins silver medal. I love the mental picture it's created for me now. Also, standing Sylvester Stallone next to him was ridiculous because Stallone is not a large man, and Dolph was quite a large man.
Once again.
Yes. Is there a gremlin behind me? Do you guys see something?
Yes, there's definitely gremlin.
Don't feed him after midnight.
Oh, bro, I can't. I've caught my oldest sneaking out, like and grabbing food at night. I'm like, I feed you. What's going on here? This is ridiculous. Ugh. But now we have other security measures, so it should be fine. Dolph was also a Russian boxer who slew. Thank you.
This summer,
I thought you had something real for me. If he dies, he dies. That's just me to whenever my kids get
he was never charged for that murder either.
Nope, certainly not. I love how it's also like kind of based off of the Rocky Marciano thing. I got this. He was leading up to the championship, and hit a guy so hard that the guy died on the way to the hospital. I was like, oh, yeah, no, we've heard this story before. It's always funny to me that I'm shocked that other people are shocked that people die in contact sports. I'm like, this is always a risk.
Shit.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's like you get punched 800 times in the face. There's a risk.
Yeah.
More than a reasonable risk.
Yeah, it's like I remember when Dale Earnhardt died, and I had people coming up to me like, "Oh, he died," and they're like, "Can you believe it?" And I'm like, "Well, how did he die?" And they're like, "Well, on the racetrack." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I can imagine that happening. That's
yeah."
Like
he died at 180. Can you believe it? Yeah, pretty easily.
He was 180. No, he died at 180.
Yeah.
He died fast. Oh, it was quick? Not necessarily.
No, it was slow and pain. No, okay.
Yeah, it's like it's still a tragedy, but you had to see this coming a little bit, just a little. It had to be in the back of your mind somewhere.
Just somewhere. You know. I mean, don't get me wrong, it sucks when it does happen, though.
Right. But there's a reason there are the ambulances there. They didn't have to call an ambulance. There are ambulances on standby at NASCAR.
It's always tragic, but it's not like, oh, how did that happen?
Right.
Yeah. It's never this great mystery. It's like heavy equipment operators. You know how many of the or construction workers? You know how many old hand construction workers I've seen with old hands with missing fingers? A lot. Some did it more creatively than others. One of them was like, "Oh, I wasn't even at work." I'm like, "What do you mean? What did you do?" It's like, "Oh, see, I was working on this car and the lift wasn't really working that well, so I put bricks there, and then the lift gave out when I said it wasn't working that well. Crushed my finger, and then I pulled it off, and when I pulled off my finger, I pulled the tendon all the way from the joint out, and so you have like this much finger, this much tendon with a little." I'm like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate it." He has a video of him on morphine laughing and pointing at his finger with the stub of what's left. I'm like, you guys are crazy. And yeah, but no, that's a whole other thing. So when you wrote the main storyline for this, did you write how did that work? Did you write it to be a comic from the very beginning, or was it something you kind of just wrote down and you're like, this should be a comic?
Well, I think I'm always thinking comic book. That's just the way my brain works. So, I guess at some point, as I'm telling the story as a bedtime story, I'm flexible. Like it could be, a cartoon, but I'm really just kind of picturing it as a comic book mostly. And so that was kind of
stick
natural,
to your own lane.
Yeah. Well, and I, in my world, comic books are number one. That to me is the best storytelling medium that exists. And there's a variety of reasons for that. But number two,
it's one of my favorites, and I'll be curious to go into that with you here in a minute. Continue.
Yeah. Number two is 2D animation. And,
Hell yeah.
and there's also arguments for that, but then for me, novels come in third.
It's I love them all for very different reasons. Right. And what's great is that if it's popular enough and the creator is nerdy enough, it probably will be in all three forms at some point.
If they can, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, RJ, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Also, I got to do this on behalf of Bill. This is how he talks.
Big sword, big arc magic. Too many big word. Very good.
Oh, love you, Bill.
Leave Bill alone.
No, I'm not going to leave Bill alone. He subjects himself to this anyway. He's like, he's friends with me. This is like a contractual agreement at this point. But yeah. So you're an artist as well. Do you ever do your own art for any of the comics that you've worked on?
Yeah, so I cover for Paul Bunyan versus Dracula #1. I did the layouts on this book as well, and some of the interior inking. So we're working on issue 2 right now, and I basically taken over as the inker so that we can get the book done faster.
Yeah. Inking really is what brings comics to life. Like I love a good pencil will take you a long ways, but the ink is what really makes it comic art specifically.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention again, for the first 50 physical backers of Three Brothers Gruff, you're also going to get a free bonus comic, Paul Bunyan versus Dracula #1, which is 52 pages in black and white.
Hell yeah. Paul Bunyan. Yeah. Wait, I got to do his voice.
Paul Bunyan versus Dracula? How the bloody damn hell have I never heard of this? Gosh,
so do you have a giant fighting Dracula, or is Paul Bunyan like normal sized?
Well, great question. So this one came about from watching a movie monster documentary with my son, and they were going through all the classic movie monsters: the Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Invisible Man, Frankenstein, King Kong, Dracula, and I asked my son at some point, I'm like, hey, these are pretty cool, aren't they? And he turned back to me and he goes, yeah, I guess, but I don't think any of these guys could beat Paul Bunyan. And,
Nice.
Oh, that's so good.
That's my
dude.
boy.
and I was like, you know, I think you have a point there, and also maybe a cool idea. So I started Googling Paul Bunyan versus Dracula, thinking somebody has done this comic book already, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I was like, well, I guess it falls on me, and you know, started to get to work. But the size question was kind of the big jumping off point, and you know, because depending on which tall tale you're paying attention to,
Tall
you
tale.
know,
Yeah.
Paul Bunyan might be so big that, you know, he forgot that he was dragging his axe behind him one day and accidentally carved out the Grand Canyon. And, you know, that fighting Dracula would be kind of reminiscent of the cartoon Godzilla versus Bambi. I don't know if you guys saw that.
That's weird. That's weird. I haven't seen that Japanese animation. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that was a cartoon that was made.
What? I thought you
I
were
think
joking.
no. I think it's like 4 seconds long, and you see Bambi kind of strolling through the woods, and then Godzilla's foot smashing down, and that in the end.
They play the audio from the bad American '98 Godzilla movie. Size.
So I was,
little deer gun does matter.
you know, trying to think of how big is Paul Bunyan, and I decided I really like the size of the giants in Game of Thrones, and I thought if Paul Bunyan was about that big, he's really going to be a handful for Dracula, and vice versa. And so that's where we kind of ended up. You know, he's about 18 feet tall. And the subtitle for
Big
the book
enough.
is Nephilim versus Nosferatu.
That's good. I
Nice.
can see that.
That's awesome.
No,
So-
that's a whole bunch of fun. Ever since I read that Robert E. Howard story about his vampire story, I've kind of been ruined because I've kind of wanted to write a story like that too. It's like, anyway, this ancient Aztec evil was brought out of his immortal tomb, and then he got defeated by a farmer with his fists. And I'm like, okay, when does like this weird power or magic come in? No, just a farmer beats him up until the sun rises. If you guys haven't read that story, do yourself a favor. It's in his like horror collection. It's so much fun.
That's brilliant.
And like he's the sword and sorcery guy. I'm like, there's gonna be something here. It's like, oh, you come from an ancient bloodline of men who have no. He is just a farmer.
Yeah. It sounds like it would make a great
All of the
Coen
House
Brothers
Bunyan.
movie.
Oh yeah. No, so how what kind of progress have you guys made on volume 2?
Well, we're about, I think, 16 pages in with the pencils and 8 pages in with the inks. And I think we're going to stop at around 30-something pages. So I'm hoping to get that campaign going around Halloween.
Good timing. No, so yeah, guys, if you guys want to get access to that first comic, the Paul Bunyan versus Dracula, absolutely going back his comic here. I do like the idea of that story, but honestly, I've been big into fantasy recently. I'm just excited to read this comic. This looks fantastic. The art is really good. I like the answers you've given me about the story and inspirations, and it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. I'm really excited to check this comic out. We've had a couple really. Dang it, Frederick! I need to tell him to stop sending me comic gifts. I'm running out of money.
Well-
Patrick and talked about River of Blood last time. Now this, I'm like, I can't afford it.
Well, I saw the Frederick one, and I actually you get Wrangler voucher. I'm like, hey, I need the info so I can pass this on. So yeah, I dropped it in Iron Seas, and then I know Bill did. Was it Bill that did too?
I don't know. I've been pretty busy. I haven't even been uploading on my own channel, so I'd have to ask AC
Or was
about
it?
that one.
Or was it you, CA?
Wait, one more time. Sorry.
Oh, somebody else dropped his project into the.
Oh
into
no,
the,
it wasn't.
seas.
Wasn't me.
So it had to have been Bill.
Which project?
Yours.
Yours. MAJI's trying to investigate how we first became aware of you and your project. So yeah, no, that's all that's going on. Also, Billy Judd is dropping some turds in the. I can't, dude. Are you serious? How do you feel about Josh Gad replacing John Candy in Spaceballs 2? Now, replace is a strong word. Candy's dead. If he was alive, I'd wheel him out there and make him do it again. But Josh Gad. Man, it's no John Candy. I don't know. I weirdly think that he could do it. I don't really know who else could do it as effectively in the modern Hollywood landscape. What do you guys think?
I don't know. It's possible.
It's like Spaceballs 2, but it's not written by Mel Brooks, who is somehow still alive. Against all the odds. I cannot believe that man is still alive.
That's what he means, though. Think about it. You can't write a comedy in today's modern BS.
Yeah, nope.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think, he's probably the best choice, I guess. Because if it was, well, and I know he was kind of the one of the main drivers behind getting this movie made, and I think he's one of the screenwriters. So
I know he's written stuff in the past, and it has been funny. So
yeah, because I think if it wasn't Josh Gad, I think your next best option might have been Kevin James. And
yeah, that's not a bad choice there.
That was the rumor I had heard earlier.
Unless we still have skinny Kevin James. Kevin James looks weird when he's skinny, man. It's like Jonah Hill. Have you seen him recently? He used to look kind of like me if I was really into like Wildcats aesthetic, and now he looks more like A.C. Pritchard, and it's a very strange transformation.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well fed, emancipated.
Before I forget, we can also play the. I have 2 trailers for the comic.
Yeah.
So the links are.
These are good.
In the private chat.
1 second. I think I saw that. On YouTube, you think is the best way, or is the website better? Do you think? I can pull up the website after.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Whip this over here. Boom, boom, boom.
And one of these trailers has a wink and a nod to the opening of Conan. And so, it's kind of subtle. Just kidding. It's really not subtle at all.
Super subtle.
If you're familiar with Conan, you'll catch it right away. But it's the one that starts with the narrator. So that's your clue.
I do like that.
Right? So
yeah. Opening up for my channel has a similar narration, and it's I'm like, if you don't see Conan in this, I have something, a bridge to sell you. Anyway.
Art looks so good.
Hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Nice.
Oh, it is. You know how much restraint I had to use to not speak the words that were appearing on screen. I love that stuff, man. I wanted to be like, an adventure begins. Dun, dun, dun. I'm like, "Oh, this is cool. No, that's great, dude. Yeah, that's a good trailer. It's quick, it's short. No, it's always interesting how people, especially comic people, try to market their comics. There's a lot of different trailer. I've seen a couple hundred trailers at this point. But no, that's a really good one. I like that. No, that's really
Thank
really
you.
solid.
Yeah. And that was kind of a response to, some people online were noticing how good the art was and saying that it must be AI. So that's why we wanted to show some of the pencils and the inks and, some of the details to let you be 100% sure. Yeah, this is all hand drawn. And the other trailer is the one that has the narrator with the nod to Conan.
Oh yeah, but sorry, wrong one.
No. I wanted to see them both.
No. It's only one. Okay, hold on.
Nah, they're both cool.
You get one, then you get a second one, but that's it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there we go. Hold on, let me whip this out. Oh! A black satyr? Hold on. Sorry, hold on.
You said the sheriff is near.
Oh, dude, I don't know if it's my favorite, but Blazing Saddles is one hell of a funny movie. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Three brothers.
It worked. It worked in Blazing Saddles. Oh, okay.
Oh, Robin, you've lost your arms in the war. But you grew a nice set of. Anyway, here we are.
Between the time when the bridges spanned forgotten rivers and the rise of petty kings in shadowed halls, there was an age undreamed of, and unto this age came three brothers, the gruff, mighty satyrs, troll hunters renowned across the wilds, destined to face the foulest beasts and unravel treachery in gilded courts. It is I, their chronicler, who alone can tell thee of their saga. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
There we go.
Nice.
Sweet.
I do like the animation of
Background
bringing the panels into, like, overlaying them onto the top of the other ones. That is a lot of fun. Also, younger brother Gruff gets punched, and it's like, that's just my sister, man. And then the guy draws a sword out. I'm like, this is a strong move, friend. You punch a stranger in the face, and then you find out that it's not even. It's like not like it's his sister. So it's not. And then you draw your weapon. I'm like, all right, my friend. This is not the first tavern we've happened upon. Anyway, oh, that's fantastic, man. That was fun.
Yeah. Well, it was the guy who's drawing the sword. That's his sister. And,
oh, okay. I missed it. Okay, I read that wrong. Sorry.
yeah. No sweat.
No,
You
that makes more
it
sense.
wrong. That's it.
I did it. I did it wrong, guys. Apparently, I watch whatchamacallit, Highlander wrong too. It's okay. There's this whole thing on the channel. People still 2 years old now, and people still give me crap over that.
Yeah. Well, Highlander's naturally confusing because you've got the French guy who's from the Scottish Highland, and then the Scottish guy who's from Spain.
And who's actually Egyptian with a non-Japanese but definitely Japanese sword.
Yeah.
And he made zero effort to change his accent. Exactly zero. In fact, he might have been more Scottish in this movie than anyone else. Yeah. Anyway, I'm Egyptian. Like, are you now?
How Scottish do you want this to be?
Did you ken you this man's Egyptian? I'm like, what is it? What are we watching?
Yeah, I think when he auditioned for The Hunt for Red October, they said, can you do a Russian accent? And he was like, oh, I'm great at accents. Didn't you see Highlander?
It's like, of course I can. Yeah. Or it's like those Liam Neeson skits. Like, it's where, all right, you're going to be Santa Claus. I have a particular set of skills. Over and over again. It's so funny.
Right, welcome to our clinic, our grocery store. How can I help you? I have AIDS. I'm riddled with.
Riddled. Absolutely riddled.
It's better than Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All the Way Down, all the way, where he's trying to pretend to be like this normal American dad. He's like, "Put the cookie down."
Oh, anytime they make him yell, it's just pure comedy. Like, that's the only reason Kindergarten Cop is that funny. It's like, can you artistically scream at children and swear and use big words? Yeah. Anyway. It's like, you don't even have to pay me. Oh no, it's fun. The problem is, I notice, like, when I do the Arnold voice, the longer I go or the bigger the sentence, the more it disappears. It just turns into retard eventually. I'm like, something's wrong with this picture here.
Well, speaking of Arnold, how's Animation Overload's drawing?
Yes, let's bring that bad boy back up. That was maybe the funniest joke in the whole movie. It's like, he recognizes that camel and fucking whacks him again.
And that camel recognizes him for sure.
I don't know why man punches very ridiculously large animal is funny, but like speaking of Blazing Saddles, just punching the horse. Like, why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that? That shouldn't be funny, but it is funny.
It is. My grandfather was in World War II, and there was this family story about a horse at one point kicking him and breaking his jaw, and then him punching the horse back and knocking it down.
So that it's not writing. It's just, this is something that sometimes happens.
Just reality.
Sometimes men punch horses. It's just reality. Right? Oh
yeah,
man.
Sometimes apparently that's.
I'm not a horse guy, but I've worked around horses my entire life doing post-frame construction. I just steer clear of any danger zone. That's the only way. Also, him punching the camel, I kind of get. They brought a bunch of exotic animals to church, like, around Christmas time, and the kids were excited, and I was a little bit too. They're like, "Ooh, cute baby goats." I'm like, I want to see this camel. So I come up, I'm talking to the handler, and then a friend of mine from church came over, and so she and I are talking, and then I felt this camel put my entire head in its mouth, and I at all. I felt its lips touching my ears on both sides. I'm like, oh. They're like, "Oh, he's friendly." I'm like, "Yeah,
really friendly."
A little too friendly. Oh,
he was your hat at that point.
I'm like, I didn't know he could he unhinged his jaw to get my fat head in there. Incredible. God's amazing creatures, frankly. Weird question, just because that's the kind of night we're having. What do the brothers Gruff think about goats?
Just
headcanon.
I think they're they're animals to them. In the Three Brothers Gruff world, there are 12 tribes of creatures that are considered kind of sentient, right?
like
So you have-
anthropomorphic at least. Yeah.
You have the Minfolk, which is basically mankind. You have goblins, trolls, ogres, gnomes, fairies, centaurs, and etc. 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 I'd have to check the list.
Satyrs, obviously. But, yeah.
Yeah, satyrs obviously included. And those are kind of the tribes that are often at war against each other and kind of being manipulated to be at war against each other by Zalira, who is the Dark Queen of our story.
Yeah, I saw her in some of the art. I was wondering who she was exactly. So she's kind of like this force behind a lot of she runs the world's newspaper. Is that right? No.
Yeah.
She owns all the media. And people in the tavern, and these notices, they never lie. So
yeah, exactly. That's it's not a bad description, really.
Oh, here we go. Killer loquat. What? What's a loquat? What's a loquat? Does anyone know?
No idea.
Herm, explain yourself. Stop making up words.
Is that?
But yeah, no, I love, dude, this camel with the tooth coming off. That's great. Also giving Conan the big hair and like the headband, like from some of the comics and covers as well. I mean, he did do the headband a couple times in the movies. So yeah, no, it does show up.
So he did it for sure in Destroyer, because in Conan
Yeah, I
the
looked up
Barbarian,
Destroyer, and that was one of the images that came up.
yeah, he grew his hair out for Conan the Barbarian, but for Conan the Destroyer, he was like, I'll just wear a wig. And so
we noticed.
Yeah, you never see the headband come off.
No, it stays exactly there the whole time. It's that miracle, really.
Hey man, those wigs get heavy.
You're telling me,
Those
man.
swords, but he ain't putting it down.
But yeah, no, it's so do you so for the Brothers Gruff storyline, do you have other storylines written out kind of like already, or at least scripted somewhat? Or
yeah, well,
like
I have
some sort of
the whole first graphic novel's done, and that's 100+ pages. So if all goes well, issue 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be 48 pages each. And I have most of a second graphic novel outlined, and then I have loose outlines for books 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So if it's a hit, there could be 7 different Three Brothers Gruff graphic novels.
That's great. I can't wait for the centaur like cross species romance. I'm very excited about it.
I think ignore him. He's just traumatized from reading Milking Farm.
I'm not traumatized, just
Stay
excited,
calm,
Maji. Anyhow.
Well, and
no,
there
I've
are
done horrible things for entertainment of other people, but anyway, continue.
yeah, there are centaurs in the first book, but they actually play a more major role in the second book.
Obviously, the romance, right?
Yes. Okay, so yeah, maybe Paul Bunyan versus Dracula is more up your alley, because that is a more romantic and erotic type story.
Paul Bunyan and Dracula, you never saw it coming. Oh, goodness gracious. No, I always like the inclusion of like the whole Narnia thing. It's like we have all the like normal animals that can talk, but also the Greek kind of children of God kind of creatures. I always thought that was neat. It's like you don't always have to break the mold with these kind of stories. Sometimes you can, like, the pre-existing kind of expectation is something you can work off of. In fact, like in fantasy specifically, some of these expectations are so built in that if your world or your creatures are drastically different, it takes people a while to kind of realize that. Like,
well, and it might also take them out of the story a little bit. I think there's some things that are just kind of inherent in human nature, human imagination. And it kind of makes us question, what's real and what's not, because basically every culture on every continent has had some type of vampire myth. And every culture on every continent has some type of myths about giants and also
as well,
and dragons and mermaids. So
and
the human
some sort of Atlantean.
Yeah, and so if you think that these were all separate, not talking to each other, well, then you kind of arrive at the human imagination kind of wanders along the same paths. And
it looks for the familiar. Yeah. No, I could see that in one of the stories I've outlined and written portions of. I do have centaurs, but I imagined like the most horrific lore I can imagine for them. And I'm like, yeah, no, these aren't going to be your grandma's centaurs. These are going to be a really unfortunate creature in this world. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I have no room to talk. I made minotaurs tribal.
Also, I was curious, like, we're at that scene. I'm in the scene of MAJI's book where, spoilers, there are minotaurs. And they're in a field with cows. I'm curious what they think. Because at least the male minotaurs in her world are very cow-like. So I am curious what they think. But yeah. But yeah, no, absolutely. So your artist, how did you guys get acquainted? Have you guys worked on projects before? Did you guys? I'm always curious how comic people come together, because sometimes it's just known associations, and it's so risky to try to find, like, if you don't know an artist at all, to trust somebody from the internet. It's always sketchy. So I'm always curious.
Well, and I kind of I hit the jackpot because I just ran into him on Facebook. I saw that he was doing historical comics. I sent him the script, said, hey, take a look at the pitch and the first 10 pages. Let me know if you're interested. And then he responded back with loose character designs and said he had read the whole 200 plus pages. He loved the story. He's all in. And I was like, well, crap, I guess I better draw up a contract now and get to work on this. And, but like I said, he's been super excited about it because he never got to do crazy action adventure like this. And,
well, yeah, because he's doing historical, and they try to keep that a little more grounded.
And if you're not familiar in Italian comics, they have all the genres. Superheroes are not the big thing there. I think the number one is probably action adventure, sci-fi. They have romance comics, horror comics, cartoon comics, and fantasy comics. And he was happy to work on what he called an American style comic book, because he got to go outside of a lot of the rules that they have for making historical comics. And I guess they have rules about layouts and panels, and how many panels you can have, and you're not allowed to break the panel border with something coming outside of the panel. That was like against the rules with DC. That was against the rules with DC Comics back in the 80s, because they were worried that it would confuse the reader as to the difference between reality and a comic book. And so,
man, they had such a low opinion of us. I mean, I already kind of knew that, but man, to hear confirmation of it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, because he was doing historical comics, like there, you're not allowed to break the border either. And so he was, you know, he was happy to break the border and push the angles and, you know, kind of play with foreshortening in ways that he hadn't been allowed to before. And I think that enthusiasm translates to the page.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just in this one
Well-
panel alone, I see the sword or the spear sword kind of traveling through past its border at least twice just in this panel alone. So, yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, in the trailer, you showed the one comic where, or the one page where it had the entire bar scene, and it wasn't just, you know, typical bar with a couple peeps and an empty wall. It was loaded full. You could see you could see all of it. It really did feel like it was a busy tavern.
Right. And one of the things that blew me away about that, you know, because most artists at some point, they're going to start to draw mannequins because they know you're just going to glance at that page, read the words, and skim by. But I noticed
they're
that
just background, but yeah.
right. I noticed Vincenzo had made characters out of every person in that panel. And so they all kind of have their own distinct look, their own distinct body gesture, and their own distinct things that they're wearing. And
Jarrod Christman, welcome. We have talked about Conan, and now we are discussing the Brothers Gruff and the art of animals. Welcome. Jonathan, this is our other co-host, Corpus Christman, or Jarrod, as we like to call him. Welcome back to the show.
How's it going, man?
Good. Nice to meet you.
You too, man.
But no, it's just no, you lucked out on your artist. The fact that he made even just the background of that scene felt very live, very vibrant. Like he captured the mood of that in just that one page. It was really cool.
Yeah, this page right here. Yeah, it's like here we have she's the barmaid who's really tired of this. This guy really believes he is charming. And the orc or goblin, whatever he is to the left of them, is just disgusted by the whole affair to begin with. And that's every single character in the background. They're all living a life, it feels like. And that's it. It's not always necessary, but it's a detail that I see and I appreciate. And obviously MAJI was expressing that just a second ago. But yeah, no,
that's really good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
In a weird way, I can almost hear the scene, like the noise in the background of a busy tavern.
It looks like a busy inn. It looks like a hot spot where everybody likes to hang out and chill.
Also, since Jarrod just got here, I'll go to this cover here. These are the three brothers Gruff. You got a lot of fun going on here.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That is sweet. So is it take on the Billy Goat's Gruff?
Yeah, exactly. It's the three Billy Goats Gruff, but they are satyrs and troll hunters for hire.
That's awesome.
Yeah, kind of. The shorthand version of this is it's Chronicles of Narnia meets Conan the Barbarian.
Nice.
Yep, we got dark queens and trolls and some guy who has too much money for his own good. But no, we got all sorts of stuff here. It's pretty much shows a full scene here just in the preview for the comic. But we were talking about his artist and how he's used to working on historical comics and how he's appreciated the freedom associated with this project in particular and not having to follow such a strict kind of set of rules.
Right, yeah.
A little more artistic freedom. And I never think that's a bad I rarely think that's a bad thing. Sometimes artists kind of get lost in the trees a little bit, but most of the time giving them more freedom, especially a talented one like this, it goes a long way in expressing things in an artistic and valuable way.
Yeah, those panels are really good, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Whatever you paid him, he earned every penny, man.
Yeah, every time he turned in a page, I was just gushing with the compliments. And
yeah,
I think there's an Italian comic book artist who does a lot of westerns. Who, everyone in Europe is a big fan of. His name is Corrado Mastronono, and I told Vincenzo, he turned in some pages, and I was like, dude, did I hire Corrado to draw my book for me? Because that's what this looked like. And he was like, oh, you're way too kind. I'm not on his level. But I was telling him, man, like, I don't know. I feel like you're right up there, top tier.
That's pretty daggone good, man.
Like look at the even the shape of the motion coming off of the weapons and portraying motion in the scene is more dynamic and interesting than a lot of other comics.
It's really
well,
good.
what's not only that, but you can tell exactly what is going on in the scene. You know how every move is fluent. You know how they're fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like X-Men level comic here in
Well,
terms of portray.
That's what I was going to say. Like, if you look, like, nothing's flat. Like what I see with a lot of comics, a lot of like recent comics, is that everything looks very flat and two-dimensional. Where there's so much depth and texture in there. It's just like you can like reach into those pictures, reach into those panels. Whereas a lot of them, you can tell it's just like, okay, this is just a flat panel.
Also, this scene is very funny. This is where it ends for you. Whoom. Oh,
I like the fact that the word is the panel.
Yeah. I know. I know. I only noticed that on this pass through as well. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, there's stuff. There's stuff in the mainstream right now that does not have this artistic quality. This is really good.
And this gives me hope, because we're seeing more and more indie artists and comics come with this, bringing this level to the industry. And I'm like, this is what we're missing in mainstream right now. I mean, aside from all the other, good storytelling too, but aside from
everything.
Frankly, the whole thing, some say it's bad. I'll tell you what I think. I think it's the worst it's ever been. But yeah, no, this is fantastic. And obviously Jonathan, he wrote this story, and there's the man himself. He does look like an artist, doesn't he? That's Vincenzo
Mercoliano.
My Italian blood would be so upset with me for not being able to do this. Oh, and your colorist.
Yeah.
No, she did a great job too. I do like the color, the kind of almost like not pastel, but like slightly like not hyper in your face colored backgrounds as well. Most of the backgrounds are drawn in, like we mentioned, but it's also like it allows the character to shine more.
Well, it's like a good balance between being it's perfect balance between being oversaturated and undersaturated. It's like right in the middle. The colors pop, but they're not garish. Like it's really good, man. It's really well done.
Yeah,
what, you mean yellow spandex? Come on.
Yeah, we've got a ton of compliments on the coloring, and February, he really did a great job of showing off what he can do, but at the same time making sure that Vincenzo's pencils and inks were the star of the show, and playing things up but not overpowering it.
And you said you were doing the inks on these as well?
No, not on this book.
Okay, that it was on the other book. Okay, my mistake.
Yeah, Vincenzo did them himself. We might collaborate on some pencils and inks in the future. I'm hoping to talk to him about that and see what we can do.
It's so interesting because, like, in most forms of art, it's one artist, but in comics, it's usually multiple artists pooling their talents to create a product. And I've always
how
loved
much
to see
time
how
goes
that
into a page.
Oh yeah, like a page like this. This looks exhausting. I can't even draw. So yeah. I'm sure AO could animation could speak to that more than.
Yes.
Speaking of which, let's see an update on your Conan here. Punch it. Yeah, there's that poor camel. He does. You know what? Frankly, he deserved it. He was asking for it. We all knew it. No, that's good, man. Jarrod, were you able to watch the movie? By the way.
Yeah. I hadn't seen it for probably 15, 20 years.
You missed it because you had to come in late. But I didn't know this movie existed until we had to watch it for this. I'm like, Conan the Destroyer, what the hell? Oh my god, another Arnold Conan. I had no idea this movie existed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always just associated them together. But yeah. Just real quick, since you got here, what did you think of that movie, the second one in particular?
Oh yeah, it's not very good. Like it just like compared to the first one, it doesn't hold up.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just take care of that real quick.
If I were to vote, I would have sunk it.
Harsh. I understand though, because the first one I really like the first one. Tonally and such, I think it really pulled it all together perfectly. It's weird because a lot of the really good elements are still there present in the second one. It just doesn't quite pull it together the same way.
No, and there are so many other Robert E. Howard stories that they could have adapted within what they were capable of pulling off on film. That would have been great. Like that one was just a swing and a miss.
Yeah, Jonathan, his opinion was more along the lines of it's a slightly underrated sequel, and that he likes that it was more pulling from like one of the comics rather than one of the Howard stories. So it does feel different for that reason, at least partially.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Well, and plus it was the Wilt Chamberlain and Arnold on screen together. That just had to happen.
I'm gonna see if I can pull up that picture again, because like I think most people have seen it at this point, but it's too funny. Let me see. We'll do that. Bring this. Just a little boy with his two dads. It's not weird.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine being the smallest man in the room, Arnold.
Yeah.
And Arnold's taller than me. That's the crazy thing.
I know, he's taller than me. He has the hair that I've always dreamed of having, like that 90s rocker Scott Stapp, like long brown hair.
Yeah.
For me, I do it. I end up looking more like Andre over here when my hair gets too long. No, it's good though, man. And it's like, yeah, Jonathan brought up a good point too. The music was at least as good in the second one as it was in the first. And for me, the thing I appreciated was like the sets and the locations and the combination of that and like the painting Jonathan mentioned as well for some of the background stuff. It was all superbly done in the second film as well as the first. And I was quite impressed with all of it, truth be told.
I would say even some of the location work was better in the second one.
I actually agree.
Like
some of it was better.
Some of it was better. It's just, oh man, it was just rough. Story wise, it just wasn't. It just fell through, and like that, what's her face, the princess. Like, I have always hated that character. Like I just can't stand her. Like I don't like. There's just something about her. Like I can't stand her face. I don't like her when she talks, and I hate. And then, like,
man,
and that's just the actress.
Tell us
then, like,
tell us how you really feel.
Then the way she played that character just made everything even worse. It's like this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
She did feel a little modern high school girl in an old Conan movie, slightly. So there's.
Yeah.
I was distracted. I think she was a very attractive.
Yeah.
Woman. No.
Well,
Wonder why.
definitely. But I think part of the reason you dislike the character, she might have been the worst actress in a movie that has Wilt Chamberlain and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right?
Fair.
That is fair.
Yeah, so some of the line delivery was, particularly stiff. And again, that's a neat trick to pull off next to Arnold.
Actually, I never thought of that's true. That's very funny.
Yeah. Did anybody else find it funny that Arnold's best acting was when he was pretending to be drunk?
Who says he was acting? He just showed up on
Exactly.
set and they're like, "Hey man, start rolling, man. He's already let's get her done."
Yeah.
Also, Arnold drunk in movies is always funny. Like, because he acts like he's crazy. Like, makes me wonder what he's actually like when he's drunk. Probably very touchy-feely given his paternity history.
Considering the fact he was hanging out with Andre the Giant, I'm pretty sure he was drunk in that scene.
Yeah.
Andre,
that smile didn't look completely right. That doesn't look completely sober. They're all serious, and he's just like looking at like Chamberlain, like Dad.
Well, if you know anything about Andre, is because of his size, he couldn't get drunk, so he could down like the most alcohol imaginable.
Oh yeah, he could just plow it, man.
Oh yeah.
Like a 24.
No, I love that story of when he was out having dinner with some other wrestlers and a couple actors and actresses as well. And some guy at this nicer restaurant, they were drunk. One of them threw a glass beer bottle at the back of his head. It hit him the first time, and he didn't even acknowledge that it happened. Then they hit him again, and he went after them. They went out there. They jumped in their convertible. They were trying to get it started. They finally got it started. It was too late. He flipped the car with all four of them inside of it. And the cops got there and said, "We don't see a problem here." Let's watch King Kong throttle 4 children.
Well, I mean, even if they wanted to arrest Andre, they don't have cuffs that fit. That's number one.
Yeah, like he was just defending himself, which
It's like
sounds
Looney Tunes
ridiculous
Daffy
when you
Duck
look
trying
what
to
happened.
arrest the guy, and he just breaks the cuffs.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, like a regular set of handcuffs wouldn't even go around his wrist.
Yeah, you'd have to handcuff his pinky fingers.
Oh.
And then how are they going to get him in the cop car?
Yeah.
They need a bus.
We'll call the Brute Squad. You are the Brute Squad.
Nice Easter egg. Well done.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate thing about Conan the Destroyer is it didn't generate a third movie because John Milius, who was the writer and director of the first one, he has a script for Conan the King, and I think you can find the PDF online. And he wanted to do, another Conan, and
wasn't it going to be King Conan?
Yeah, King Conan, and then he wasn't attached anymore. Ridley Scott liked the script, and he wanted to come in and direct it, but ultimately it never got made. But it would have been, would have been pretty fun, I think.
Are they for real going to do the third?
I've heard that too. There's so many fake rumors out there. It's so hard to know.
Yeah, what I heard was Arnold said yes to everything. Basically, he agreed to do a Predator sequel, Conan sequel and a Commando sequel. And and he's going to be the grandpa version of all these characters. So I think the Conan could work with the right director. I think you might just have to set it in Samaria so that you have a snowy mountain set a lot, and Conan wearing a lot of fur.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he doesn't.
He's still in shape. It could happen. I could see King Conan. But who the hell would direct it?
Yeah, good question. Well, Oliver Stone wanted to do the first movie. I don't think he'd be a bad choice at all.
Yeah. I have a controversial opinion. I didn't hate Jason Momoa as Conan in the 2011 movie. The movie, not great. I don't think he was I think he was a pretty good Conan, actually.
Momoa as Conan was fine.
Yeah.
The movie that was written for him was god awful. And
there's so many Superman actors where that's happened to them.
And that's a crime, man. Like that, someone should be prosecuted for that, because that should have been a home run. Like, you got Jason Momoa as Conan. That should have been the easiest home run in the world. Like that thing should have been huge. And then they did that with it. Like,
well, Jason Momoa is the only reason why Aquaman did any good. I mean, face it, that movie is so bad that they knew the only reason why anyone would watch it was Jason Momoa, that they had an epic pose every 5 minutes for about 30 seconds each time.
Right. Yeah. Well, and the Conan movie was pre-Game of Thrones, Jason Momoa. So, he didn't have, he wasn't bringing any stardom.
It was just him.
But that could have been the thing that before Game of Thrones, that should have been the thing that blew him up.
And he still got a lot of fame from Game of Thrones.
Oh,
he was there for one season, literally. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a season.
Yeah.
Hell of a season.
Had the Conan movie made Aquaman money, he would have been in 3 more of them.
Yeah.
For sure.
I totally agree. It was that was such a waste of like
potential,
of
great casting,
like the best person we've had, the best person available to play Conan since Schwarzenegger, and that's what they did. Like,
I dare say he had, but like with a good movie attached, he had the potential to be a better Conan than Arnold. And I really
I agree.
Yeah, he definitely speaks English better than Arnold did.
I was like, first time I remember I was an adult. By the time I first watched the original Conan, I could see why.
Wait, you're an adult?
Anyway,
legally,
physically.
I've been physically an adult since 7th grade. I've been fully grown since then. I looked like skinny this when I was 13, 14 years old. Anyway. I watched that for the first time. I'm like, I know the line's coming, the famous line from the Conan books. Defeat your enemies. I'm like, what was that? Don't speak, Arnold. You broke the illusion. It was perfect. You are the embodiment. And then he spoke. I'm like, never talk again in film. Stop. Also, Jarrod, I was distracted. Do you blame me? I mean, how was that? What is she wearing? It's a drape for a window that is opaque to let in light. It's nonsense. Anyway, it wasn't on screen that long. We'll be fine. MAJI didn't see anything. MAJI, close your eyes. Anyway,
I think you answered your own question there, Kahuna. If it was a drape to let in the light.
Let in all kinds of light. But yeah, no, it's always a shame when when a project comes together and one or two aspects are just really good, but the rest of it does not.
Yeah,
it doesn't work because too many elements drag it down.
Yep.
Those are almost as bad as films that start off really good and then slowly get worse with sequels. I dislike both of them, but At least I think they're worse because like this could have been great. It's sad to see. It's like watching film franchise get bad over time. It's kind of like a relative getting older. It's like, well, I still have the memories, but with something like this, it's like all the potential, and it just never. It didn't work. It did not work.
We're still talking about the Momoa Conan.
Yeah. We're still on that.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. I get it.
That being said, Momoa was really good in the Chief of War series on Apple TV.
I still haven't watched that,
dude. I am going to legally procure, definitely not Chinese bootleg DVD of that, so I can stream it to everybody on the Discord because it's the best. For Hawaiian culture history, it is the best I could expect, period, for telling this story in particular.
Cool. Yep.
I cannot imagine it better than this. And as far as like accuracy, it's like even little things. Like the way the sound of the wind moving through the grass, it's not a generic soundbite. That's what it sounds like in Hawaii. And I could live it. I could feel the air when watching the show, and it's not something anyone else would notice, but I'm sitting, I'm like, this is special to me. That's a special thing. What's something like that for you, Jonathan? Like a project or a book or something where you're like, I'm there. I'm all the way in.
Yeah, well, I think first of all, you haven't seen Moana yet, obviously.
Just like Hawaii, yep. Bunch of skinny natives. That's right.
But the
no diabetes could be found anyway.
thing that comes to mind when you asked me that was Dances with Wolves, and there's the part that was filmed on location in South Dakota. In what's called the Black Hills. And if you've ever been to the Black Hills or South Dakota, like it's kind of, well, I got a compliment on my comic book on another podcast where they were talking about those first few pages, and they said, I can smell that tavern just by looking at this. And that's how I felt about Dances with Wolves. Like it took me back to visiting South Dakota so strong that I was like, oh, I can smell the wind where he is right there.
Yeah.
And
my grandpa who grew up in the Dakotas, he said something similar. He's like, yeah, that's about right. Like that's my neighbor's property. I'm like, what was it like growing up, Papa? It's like, how do you feel about slaughtering hundreds of chickens and lots of corn? Why? and it's like I love hearing stories from when he was growing up. It's like, oh yeah, so like I'm like, yeah, I saw a red fox today. I've never seen one in Washington State. He's like, oh, that's cool. My uncle back in the day, they had bounties for them because they were killed chickens and farm animals. It's like one weekend he went out and hunted a few and got some money. I'm like, oh, how many did you kill? He's like, oh, like 285. I'm like, in a weekend? In 3 days? What the hell? No wonder they nearly went extinct. One man in a weekend killing an entire bloodline. Anyway. Black Hills was part of your honeymoon. Were you guys captured by natives? Katie? I'm just for posterity. You can blink if you're in danger. Anyway. Also, Billy, if anyone's excited, is anybody in the world excited for Toy Story 5?
What? There's a Toy Story 5?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I saw a preview for it in theaters. It's real.
Huh.
Even though the story really ended in 3, but yeah, we got 5 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for Toy Story 11. I think that's going to be great.
They'll really hit their stride by then.
I'm really excited for the next Daisy Ridley Star Wars film. I'm sure this one will be fine. Ugh.
I'm still betting to see if Disney's dumb enough to actually make a Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp.
given their race swapping tendencies, I want to see them make a live action Tarzan. Do it, Disney. I dare you.
They don't. They
do it.
They won't. They don't have that.
Make
balls.
Tarzan black. Do it.
I can see them being dumb enough to do it. Just not even thinking what the implications are, just being that dumb.
We're gonna really stick it to the patriarchy.
I don't know if they're that dumb, but brace yourself for Pedro Pascal Tarzan if they decide to do it.
Oh.
He's actually Jane.
They made him Mr. Fantastic, so why the hell not? He was the worst pick for that role. I don't see him smart enough to be Mr. Fantastic. I'm sorry.
Right.
I picture him from that dumb Nicolas Cage movie where he's like a smile, like that stupid gif that I've seen everywhere. I'm like, that's what I picture when they're like, yeah, he's going to play the smartest man on the planet. Cool.
Yeah. Well, he was really good in that because he basically got to play himself, and so did Nicolas Cage. They were wonderful, But I'm looking forward to Tarzan with the stash.
Actually, I'm excited for the Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Noir show coming.
I am curious. Also, part of me really wants to be excited for The Mandalorian and Grogu. I want to be excited for it.
No,
I'm not. But I do want to be desperately. I loved Star Wars growing up.
They killed Star Wars. Jarrod, take a memo of this. Don't do it.
No, I have negative apathy.
Negative apathy.
If there's like a stage below apathy, that's
contempt.
Because I can't even be bothered to hate it anymore. I just don't care. For me, I went from dislike to utter loathing. To pure apathy, and now I'm below pure apathy. So
that is the true opposite of love. So you've gone full spectrum from loving Star Wars to not even hating it anymore. Just nothing.
I went from being one of my favorite franchises of all time, full massed excitement on the regular.
Oh yeah,
man, straight to betrayal. The Last Jedi was rough. I walked out of that movie.
Well, and what's bad now is with Mandalorian, Jon Favreau, I hope it's good, but even if it has 98% good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm still not going to go see it in the theater because The Last Jedi had 98% good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
And they
lied to you.
I know Disney can buy off the critics when they want to.
Yep.
And so
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
As long as
Jedi was really, really good and we all just missed it.
That must
I listened to everyone tell me how bad Last Jedi was, and then I saw it, and they were all right.
As long as Disney owns Lucasfilm and Marvel, they get none of my money and none of my attention. I don't give a shit about Doomsday. I don't care about anything.
I don't care about Doomsday.
With Star Wars, it's like those entire brands are dead to me.
I've heard really good things from about 4 people I trust about Maul Shadow Lord, though. I'm curious. Because mostly because the voice of Maul is Sam Witwer, and he's one of the biggest Star Wars nerd, bigger Star Wars nerd than me, and he is involved in the project. That makes me want to check it out just for that reason. But
I mean, I get it, but the thing is Maul, because of what they do, think about Maul, in 99, when we first saw Maul, I was like, holy shit, this guy's amazing. Oh, wait, he got cut in half. Okay. And then decades later, he shows up in the Clone Wars, It's like, okay. And then he gets beat in the Clone Wars, and then he gets beat in Rebels, and then it's like, okay, like you've just you have completely eliminated. Like, okay, this guy's like he's impressive with a lightsaber and he's got a cool face, but he's not like there's no threat here. Like he's not threat. Everybody beats him.
There we go.
He gets his ass kicked everywhere. It's just like don't care.
Yeah,
So, and they like, and the thing is, like Disney has no idea what they've done to that character. It's like you had this amazing character and you just blew it.
Right. I
Just
think
completely blew it.
with the Phantom Menace, we all assumed this awesome character design that was so, so foreboding. This was the new Darth Vader.
Should have been.
And this was going to be the guy who was going to be in all three movies. And then he was gone. So, yeah. And then, to your point, in the next movie, they're like, oh, yeah, well, check out this. A guy with a beard,
who played Dracula,
and we named him Dooku.
They should have stuck to the.
And he's a count.
Yeah, should have stuck to the original plan for Darth Jar Jar. They should have stuck with that. I would have been down for it. They would have never seen it coming after the first film.
Like Jedi Saruman is cool, okay? Like let's just go with it.
It's because it's Christopher Lee.
Yes,
of course.
And the cartoon, the Clone Wars, really did do so much for the prequels. Story wise, they did so much most of the time. Anyway.
Well, they did.
But out of that, we still got Ahsoka. Like the Filoni, he couldn't leave it alone. He had to get his like feminist intersection.
He had to have his foxes and the moon and weird bullshit. Yeah, I know.
It's like, God, I just don't care. Like,
but that's what's so
like
great
cool
about indie comics nowadays is people are making good stories, and just going right for a good story and making it entertaining.
They're not tied down by like a committee or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was
the art speak.
Like to your point, Jonathan, I was thinking about this just last week because like I had one of those rare times when the wife and kids are gone. So I have a chance to watch movies that I can't watch with my kids around. So it's like I'm thinking like, okay, there's a whole bunch of good serial killer movies or thriller movies that I want to watch or that I can see. And like, I'm looking at like all of the new stuff that's available. It's like, I have no excitement for anything new. Like nothing new from anyone mainstream has done. Like just nothing. I watched one new movie and was so disappointed. I watched, after that, I just went back and watched the most recent thing I watched after that was the first Dune movie. Like the first of Denis Villeneuve's movies. And then everything else I watched was all like old stuff, is at least like 15, 20 years old. Because I just cannot be bothered to care about all this new shit.
Every now and again I get sick or hurt really badly, and I'll take this happens like once every 5 years. I'll sit down. I'm like, okay, I can't do anything. I'm gonna watch. Like I went through every Western movie I could find. That's what I did last time. I'm looking forward to the next time I get grievously injured. I'm very curious what I'll watch then.
Oh my gosh. So Kahuna lives about 3 hours south of where I do. And he decided to come up for the Marvels. We went to go see it in the theater. He ended up being 15 minutes late. He leans over, what did I miss? I'm like, absolutely nothing.
That was the first time we met too. So I'm late to like meeting MAJI for the first time. I walk in the theaters. Did anyone here actually, besides MAJI and I, actually watch that movie?
No.
There's no plot at all.
And,
he
I have
like, what did I miss? And I'm like, nothing.
The Marvels.
The Marvels. I have three daughters who are all the target age group, for what should have been the target audience of that movie. And I was like, hey, you guys want to go see this? And they were just like, nah. Like,
I watched Mahler talk about it.
Yeah.
So
but think about that. Think about that. Like how old are you, Jonathan?
48.
Yeah. So same as me. So it's like when we were growing up, like even as early as, or even as late as like 2012, 2014, like I can remember being like, oh, I want to go see that. The movie coming out. I can't think of a single, that's not true. I can think of a small number of films from then till now that I've had any excitement about seeing.
8D.
Yep. That's what that is. 8
Yeah.
equals
Well,
D.
and I think to your point, think about that. You're flipping through streaming channels trying to find something just kind of in the bleakness. Compare that feeling to when you get an indie comic in the mail, and and then it's like, oh well, this is going to be cool.
Yeah.
And and then like I'm excited to read it, and like just flip through it, see what all's in there, and you don't. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good feeling. And, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe I've been black-pilled, but everything in the news is just like so horrific and dark these days. I feel like we need escapism more than ever.
Yep.
And, it'd be just really nice to get some more quality adventures that aren't real life.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Yeah, for me, it's like indie comics, a new audiobook, or a random manga I pick up at a bookstore. Because all my local, like, bigger bookstores are carrying manga because that's what sells. And it's fun just to look at a picture of something because it's Japanese and assume it's on average going to be better than what I'm going to pick up with American comics. Pick it up, and turns out it's fine. There's a very compelling manga about people who smoke together, and that's it. That's it. That's literally all there is, and it's very good. Oh, goodness gracious! But yeah, no, it's weird how far we have to go to find good entertainment. Like the movie I saw 2 movies in theaters recently. One of them they were both good. One of them was an old Ghibli film. I like to watch all movies before I let my kids watch them, so I watched that in theaters. It was an old movie called Whispers of the Heart. Really good film.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
Really good. Really interesting for artists as well.
Personal
Because what to say about that. Yeah, it's like it's no Princess Mononoke, but it's not trying to be. It's a small story.
It's a different story.
It's quiet, but it's a very good quiet story. But I saw that, and then I saw the Great Awakening, which it's not indie, but it's only a step, maybe a half step above indie. And that movie was
that was great.
Yeah, no, that movie really, really impressed me. I'm like,
what was it called?
The Great Awakening. It's historical. It's about Ben Franklin and why am I blanking now? The great evangelist. What's his name? Why am I blanking here?
That's okay. It's mostly about Ben Franklin.
Yeah, but
George Whitefield.
Yeah, George. Yeah. It's like why people like school should be teaching about that. The only reason I knew who he was because I was homeschooled when I was very young, and that's the only reason I knew who he was.
I think the Great Awakening and Hail Mary were the 2 best movies of the year so far.
Yeah,
but we're in May.
Ah, fuck. It's like, have no fear. Dune Part 3 will come out soon.
Oh no.
Now, I'm a bit of a heretic in the indie community for this. I don't know why, but a lot of people in the indie like book sphere and comic sphere really love to take a crap on the Dune movies. I really like them, and I always feel like that quiet. I always feel like the quiet kid in the room. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, this thing sucks." I'm like, Well, I'm just looking over.
I honestly think it's because Zendaya or whatever her name is. A lot of people. Zendaya. Yeah, a lot of people don't like her.
I was just looking over the comments. I just threw up on my mouth a little bit. I want to see a live-action remake of Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Fuck you, no.
And Zendaya as Kita. Billy, I swear to God, you better be joking.
No.
And Mark Ruffalo's not returning for. Oh no! Oh
man,
shoot! What are we gonna do?
I'm still not gonna watch it. I'm still not gonna watch it.
Are they recasting him, or is Hulk just dead?
I let him die.
Who
dude.
cares, man?
Dude, I as soon like I was watching Endgame, I'm like, this is it. The
You know what
universe
would
is
be
dead
funny?
now.
Bringing back the guy from the other Hulk movie, Nolan. What was his name?
Oh,
Ed Norton.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ed Norton.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
He was a good.
They're doing
Hulk.
multiverse. Just bring him back as Hulk. That's all.
Yeah, and it's like say what you want about Joss Whedon, he knew how to treat the Hulk in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hulk is great in his movies. As soon as he's gone, Hulk is just, what are we doing? And then freaking Thor Ragnarok came out, ruined Thor and my favorite Hulk storyline in one film.
No fucking kidding, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's like you just killed my cat and my dog in front of me.
No Planet Hulk.
One movie.
I then made jokes about it.
Yeah.
An animated movie.
If Ed Norton came into Doomsday and he was also the Gray Hulk, Joe Fixit, I would go see it for sure.
That could be cool.
I would go see
would do
that.
it
That would be nice.
I would go see that.
I don't know, man. Them throwing in the Red Hulk as freaking Harrison Ford, this 98-year-old, just didn't work for me. I didn't
The
even.
other guy
Billy,
passed away. That's part of
Billy,
the
go to your room. Go to your room, Billy.
Shame on you, Billy.
Love you, brother. Oh.
I'm sorry. No, in no universe could you convince me that Harrison Ford was going to be the Red Hulk.
He's angry enough to be. Oh. You guys remember a couple years ago? I'm trying to remember what it's for. He's at the premiere of something, and the interviewer asks him something, and he has a moment where he kind of breaks character. It's just like, "Is there anywhere else you'd rather be right now?" Home. You can like see a single tear forming in one of his eyes. I'm like, let this man rest. He's earned it. Let him be.
You know what I was thinking? So I may be like flying my heretic flag here for a minute, but if you think about it, think about all of his movies. Harrison Ford is not that great of an actor.
No, he plays the same two roles.
Like
basically, yeah.
There are a larger number of his movies where his performance is really poor in.
Yeah.
And then there's a small number of his movies where he's really, really good. Like really good. And I think a lot of his movies are like, meh. But one of the films that I think is still where he's like really, really good is The Patriot Game.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Patriot Games, where that's like his first Jack Ryan movie.
Yeah.
Like
he's
very good in that. Very good.
He's been really lucky to be in like some of the biggest franchises ever. Like
he
Jack
also
Ryan,
has
Indiana Jones and Star Wars. It's about as big as it gets.
He has an undeniable it factor that some actors and actresses have.
Oh, definitely the charisma's there. I think you were talking about him having a good performance, and the first thing that popped in my mind was The Mosquito Coast. And if you've never seen that movie, I've
seen it once a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
really good in that.
Very good. Yep. Yeah.
It's like someone I think is a very good actor that and people always give me crap about this one. Brad Pitt. More than most other actors, he disappears into the role that he.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
100%.
He's never talked about on the same level as like DiCaprio or Pacino, like some of these other bigger names. I'm like,
for some reason,
sleep on him. Yeah,
but I think he definitely deserved an Oscar for 12 Monkeys, and this would have been a hot take, but I would have given him an Oscar for Snatch. I
Oh
thought
yeah,
he was
dude.
great in that.
He was so good in
Oh,
Snatch.
he was good, really good in Snatch.
She's tearing apart to prepare to make a blue place.
Oh, right.
man.
It's like DiCaprio starts his career as a retard, and everybody always talks about his acting. It's like,
well, that might be the reason why. You do that, you're considered a great actor ever after.
think about
It's like they
So you're
think
saying-
he's retarded, so they're like giving him more leeway.
Well, I think that's it's funny you say that because Stallone with Rocky, the first movie, he got nominated for Best Actor at the Academy Award. And that's because I think the Academy thought that his voice modulation and the way he was talking and part of his face being paralyzed was him acting. And once they found out he actually talks like that, well, then no more awards for you, Mr. Stallone.
he's
So
such
the
a great actor. It's like,
So the answer really is to go full retard then.
But you know what? There are
Never go
there
forward.
are some moments though, because like this one of the things I bring up every now and then on the show is like moments where actors have a moment in a movie that is surpasses the quality of the movie it's in. And like there was
What was that? Who was just executed?
Are you moving a bookshelf? Like, what are you doing?
he has it attached to his desk, and he's dragging it across the room in a drunken fury.
But like Stallone has several of those across his films. It's like
he's
like,
a good
holy
actor.
crap.
He is a really good actor. He just doesn't get the respect he deserves.
No,
like okay,
Because
so going back to
he
those
sounds kind of the way that he does. His best role ever.
In
The toy maker
order to
from
survive
Spy
war, you gotta
Kids
be
3D.
humble.
Spy Kids 3D, best role ever.
Well, actually,
I am the law.
What I would have given Stallone an Oscar for is First Blood. That scene at the end where he has a monologue.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
great acting.
Yeah, dude.
No, the First Blood is the only film where acting is like really on display. After that, it's kind of just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
That first movie is entirely different from the rest of the franchise.
Oh, entirely, yeah.
It's like
the first one. I'm like, oh my god, this is what they had to deal with after Vietnam, and the second one, I'm like, I also want to shoot exploding bow and arrows.
The other ones are like,
It's like I think I would look good shirtless with long hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so jarring seeing him in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with no warning. In theaters for the first time. I'm like, the fuck is Stallone doing here? Oh.
I'm at my Marvel quota, this is all it is.
I always wondered if Ben Stiller in whatchamacallit was making fun of like eating Gilbert Grape, Never Go Full Retard. It's like that movie in
Simple Jack.
Simple Jack. Oh, I cannot believe that movie was like the last shout of a dying era of comedy, because there was some brutal, way off script comedy late 90s, early 2000s, and it was pretty much almost dead by the time that movie came around, and it was like maybe the last of its time. I'm like,
Tropic Thunder?
Yeah. How did
Tropic Thunder and the Hangover trilogy.
Yeah.
Those three movies was kind of the last who were offered like pure comedy.
But in all honesty, that's how you know when freaking the world finally starts healing, is when they can pull off a good spoof again.
Yeah.
Every major shift in the movies always ended with began, either how you look at it, with this giant spoof. I mean, you had the airplane era, then you had the Hot Shots Periscope, that era, then you had the Men in Tights at the end of the 90s, and then each each big movie genre shift always ends in some sort of parody making fun of it.
Yeah,
Then you got
vampires
Stupid
suck. I remember
Movie,
seeing
which
that
kind of
piece of
showed
shit.
where we were at.
Oh man, or not another teen movie, or the scary movies are good for that too. Yeah, there's that whole whole spoof.
They're
era.
doing another scary movie, right? Like
I
Scary-
know. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. And it's
It'll
like
be-
with
like I cannot stand Marlon Wayans, so I never watched any of those movies. But I will be interested to hear what people say about that, if they pull punches in that, or if they go all in and it's a free for all. If everyone's a target, or only some people were targets in that one.
well, it's like the new Naked Gun movie. That it actually does feel like the older movies a little bit, and that's part of. And Liam Neeson's just him being serious and saying ridiculous things. It's always
Except
funny.
for they didn't capitalize on it. They should have called it Naked Gun, Son of a Gun.
Yeah, yeah,
That would
yeah.
have been
Missed
better.
opportunity.
That was a missed opportunity right there, man.
I do love that. It's like, oh, I can't. I'm pretty surprised you actually came in here asking for a drink. It's like, well, what's your problem? I've never met you before. You killed my father. That could be thousands of people. He was running away. That could literally be hundreds. Just like going down.
You killed my
he's a-
father. Yeah, if
he's a
any
drug
idea how
dealer.
little that narrows it down.
Pretty much, it's like he was a drug dealer. At least 50. He's white. Oh, so you're this is man's boy. Oh, holy crap!
That's good.
Oh, there was one movie critic who saw it and was like, "This humor is ridiculous. It doesn't at all capture the spirit." I'm like, "Did you watch the originals?"
Yeah, no kidding.
Now also, MAJI, that movie is why everybody knows. Nice beaver. Thanks. I just
Yeah,
had it
yeah,
up. Yeah. We like to bring it up. MAJI some time ago, she didn't know that beaver was innuendo for something else.
Yeah.
I thought they were talking about a real beaver.
And so she was talking about this stuffed toy beaver she has, and it was beyond comedy. I don't think I've ever cried laughing.
So that, the interesting thing about that language history is that came about because at one point, beaver pelts were so sought after and expensive, you could trade a beaver pelt for a squaw in the pioneer area of America. That's where we also get the term buck from, for $1. So
I always kind of figured
could
that.
get a whole
yeah.
dollar for. You know,
Yeah.
that was back when you could buy things for pennies.
Yeah.
But I hate to say it, but it's been a lot of fun. I actually have to go. Thanks for having me on. It
Nice
was,
meeting you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're kind of getting to the end here anyway. We'll all chill and say our goodbyes. But sir, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a blast having you on, man.
Yeah, thank you for having
Jonathan,
me.
you've been a real one, man. And I'm very excited to grab your comic. It looks like a lot of fun.
All right, I appreciate it. I'll see you again next time.
Have a good night.
Yeah, man.
God bless my
See you,
friend.
man.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. I was band practice, my friend.
Oh, it's good. It's fine. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
I love being able to be at work and play one of your guys' songs. It'll just come up on the playlist. And I'm like, my friend made this. This is sick. Anytime like at Justin's or yours or some of the others, their music or like God forbid my song that Justin made, I'm like, yeah, that's my song. That's cool. I'm like, this feels like a weird version of Prideful Petty. It's like I built one of the large black new barn buildings at the Puyallup Fair, or Washington State Fair, which is a really, really big fair.
Yeah.
Millions of people every year come. And it's like the year after we built the fair, after we built it, I was just standing there. People walk around like, I built that one, not the big one, but the slightly smaller one. That was me.
That's pretty dope. I've been to that fairgrounds.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
there.
historical.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can almost smell the Japanese, the oppression of the Japanese. Oh, that's fun. That's a bad joke. I almost regret that one. Anyway. Oh, who could stand seeing Charlie Sheen as a main protagonist in Scary Movie 3?
Oh, I could. That would be cool.
I might sit down for it.
Just gotta get rid of,
I would love to
get
see
rid of
Charlie Sheen in another movie. Just period.
period.
True.
I'd love to see, like, don't even. Yeah, he was crazy back then too. We just didn't know it as much. It's like he was in Ferris Bueller for about 5 minutes, and he went on a 3-day bender for method acting. Yeah. This is you're really putting your all into this role, Charlie. Really selling your soul for this one. Oh,
You don't understand. I'm a crackhead. I'm a method.
I've been living on the streets for 7 months. It's all part of the method. It's all the method.
I ate a rat. You didn't see it.
I have heard from fairly reliable sources of mine that they're making a new Young Guns movie. I don't know how.
Is it called Old Guns?
You're gonna redo it.
Much rusty, older, misused guns. Yes. But apparently they're getting a whole bunch of the old crew back. Emilio Estevez is helping write. I haven't heard an update in a minute, but that was something that's been in the works for a minute.
I don't know about you guys, but I am so sick of remakes and sequels.
Yeah.
I mostly am, but like the kind of ones we're starting to get now are at least by people that are passionate about it, not just cash grabbing. At least that's the appearance of it. We'll have to see how many of those come to fruition. But
coming out like Devil Wears Prada 2,
Oh yeah,
Magic
yeah.
2, like a bunch of them. Oh.
Well, at least like Twisters, which is, the sequel to Twister, at least they did their own premise and just paid a nod tribute to the first one. They were
like instead of Alien, it was Aliens. Now it's instead of Twister, it's Twisters.
Well,
There's
but
more than
what
one.
I mean is the storyline itself was actually different.
Yeah.
You can only do so much with storm chasing, so the fact that they made it slightly unique is actually intriguing.
It turns out it's actually the Sharknado sequel nobody expected. Just halfway through, also they see a part half chewed on tuna land in the cornfield.
It's a prequel to Sharknado. It's like, oh, it ends with like, well, no, it's
it's like we have a technology. We think we can redirect the tornado into the ocean. It'll be much better.
We have to launch a shark into it. Trust me, it'll make sense. It's science.
It goes in right after, right as the boats are coming in.
Use a medieval catapult. It is genius.
Dude, the Sharknado movies, if you guys kept up, it got wild. It involved magic.
How many
space.
movies are there?
Wild?
It involved a magic device attached to a satellite, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
So out of all the movies this year, I can only think of 3 that is unique.
Which ones?
The one that's in theaters now, that everybody likes, the space one. That's
Project Hail Mary.
everyone's. Project Hail Mary.
No, Hail Mary, yeah.
Yeah, Project Hail Mary, Acme versus Coyote, Young Washington. Everything else is a sequel or a branch off or a remake.
Yeah.
Can you guys think of another one? I mean, technically,
I
even Mario
mentioned it
Galaxy is a branch off of the
sequel.
Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, The Great Awakening. I've already. If
a
I talk
sequel.
about that movie, I'm going to jerk it off, and we don't need to do that this late in the stream. But
Yeah, please.
It was. Hey, it's not weird. My sword is perfectly adequate. Okay.
The Acme one is technically a branch off because Looney Tunes.
What? Wait, Jared, you saying I have a tiny cock? I do, but it's neither here nor there.
You have a big sword too.
Anyway, I've had that toy in my pocket since the beginning, waiting for an opportunity.
Waiting to make the joke.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a reason. I need an opening.
Way to commit, buddy. Good job.
Here's
I'm
my
like one of
sword.
those
I need an
magi-
opening.
I'm like one of. I'll make it open. Anyway, moving on. Anything's a hole if you're brave enough. Anyway, we're moving on. We don't need to get into story time.
Who wrote the boat? Why? I'm asking why.
Oh.
Gosh.
If you need a reference, I did talk about this
Anything's
a
a
little
hole
bit in
if you
another at the end of
work-
another
work
stream.
hard
Anyway,
enough. Oh, hey, a boat.
look up our Hercules stream with Andrew Briggs, and yeah, I too much TMI on that stream, but that was fun.
Hey, I'm just happy you kept your shirt on today.
That's true. It's weird.
That reminds me. Hey, aren't you?
I'm trying to think of a reason I can take it off now.
No.
Dude, CA. One night, I was coming on late, like I am right now, and I get on there with Frederick Guimont, and I get on stream, and all three of them, Guimont, AC, and Kahuna, are all shirtless. I'm like, what the hell, guys?
Why not? Why? Because why not?
He's like, what have I just walked into?
There we go. You had to point it
Yeah.
out.
There you go.
Now the shirt's gone.
See, I could take off my shirt, but that'd be really awkward, so I'm not going to.
I know, especially with no camera. Anyway,
Exactly.
who is this for, Maji? Anyway, I almost said your real name. I'm sure people know it by now, but still.
It's fine. But
her real name,
It's Gina.
Abigail.
Yes, Gina Abigail.
Why did we pick two horrible names for her?
hey, as long as it's
Agnes,
not
there you go.
Karen, we're okay.
I've met Karens with the haircut. Two of them, nicest women, some of the nicer women I met recently. And I'm like, I wonder if they know, like they can't know because these are nice women. They are not like that. They just can't. They just don't know the culture about it.
What you got to wonder is like how horrible of a person was the first one that was the first Karen, like the Karen who started the meme. Like how horrible of a person was that?
She might have not been
have
that
no
bad,
idea.
but then it probably brought, like, with the advent of like cell phone videos on YouTube and the internet, we started seeing women all over acting that way. And now their entire pages of fake Karen content, which is that's something.
That's
else.
just cringe.
Maybe it came from a movie or something.
Hey, Grok, you know everything, right? Including my last name and the link. Anyway, let me ask you, Grok, what do you know? What do you know?
Oh, the history of Karen?
What is the origin of the Karen phenomenon? Surely I spelled that right.
Phenomenon.
I said it out loud. So it's definitely right.
Just say phenomenon.
Core characteristics of the stereotype: the "can I speak to the manager" archetype, often depicted with specific, short, choppy Karen's haircut. Think the angled bob popularized by Kate Gosselin in around 2008 and 2010. Demanding special treatment, anti-mask, anti-vax attitudes, over-policing others' behavior associated with suburban middle-class entitlement. They're apparently pre-2010 roots. That's surprising.
Interesting.
The generic use of Karen as an annoying or disliked female character in pop culture, as far back as Mean Girls in 2004. That's a long time back. In African American vernacular English and Black communities, there was a longer tradition of using placeholder names for white women who wield privilege harmfully, like Miss Anne, or later, or Becky in the 1990s. Fuck.
I remember the Becky one.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
the Becky one.
Becky, I remember.
No. Racism didn't exist when I was growing up. Says I, who grew up in Tacoma, Washington. Yeah. Okay, so the as we know it today started around 2014 to 2017. It was the speak to the manager haircut. It was on Reddit. It led to the very famous subreddit, "Fuck you, Karen," and spinoffs like "R" entitled Karens. Yeah. Apparently, there was a series of viral videos of white women acting this way, and so they came up with Karen. That was the winner. But other contenders was Barbecue Becky, Permit Patty, Golf Cart Gail, and Cornerstone Caroline.
The only other name that rings a bell is Becky. The other ones don't think catched on.
Yeah, Karen's classic, man.
Bye, Felicia.
Dude, I unfortunately hop on Facebook every now and again for different reasons, family and keeping up. And I decided, hey, I should join my community page just for fun, for the local things going on where I live. Oh my god,
dude!
The whiniest bunch of losers Karens I've ever.
Yes,
bro. It's like there were some kids. They were sitting on a like one of the disabled scooters behind the store. I'm like, what is this? Is this the worst part of your day? How good is your life?
Disabled scooter.
This is the worst thing that's happened to you today.
Problem solved.
Oh,
man.
Dude,
like,
you totally forgot we live in Washington.
I did for a moment, and then I hop on here. I eventually call. I'm like, I'm gonna get if I participate in any of these, I'm gonna get kicked out like I did on Reddit. I did comment once. I'm like, what is this the worst thing that's happened to you recently? And other people are like, yeah, hell yeah. I'm like, okay, there's a few of us here, so
you're always there lurking.
Oh man,
I gotta dip out of here, guys.
I gotta
drive home.
Oh yeah,
I say we wrap it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here aboard the Iron
Seas. I'll see you next Tuesday at 6:30 PST, the Lord's time. We have many more comic artists, ironically, coming to join us on stream. Definitely selling amazing, big, beautiful indie comics. I'll see you next Tuesday at 6:30 PST. Thank you for joining. Woo!